Hello? Hello? If you guys can hear me, let me know in the chat. Hello? I should be live now. I should be live.
Hello?
Oh, here we go.
Hello?
Here we go. Alright, we are ready to go for a big Sunday afternoon clash. Here we go. We are live. We are working. That is absolutely amazing. Let's get the stopwatch up. Let's get this going. Alright. Hello, everybody. I don't think my chat is working, though. I don't think my live chat is working in the chat box, which I've actually got. Which is a pain. But I do have my chat up on another screen, so I'll still just be able to respond to you guys anyway on the other screen. So it doesn't really matter if this chat box doesn't work. So, yep. Marvel Stadium, St Kilda Fremantle. Yeah. Right. St Kilda vs Fremantle, Marvel Stadium. Fremantle want to go for top 4 this year. The Saints, I got no clue what they might do this year. But yeah, anyway though, the game is about to start, and I'll get the scores of the other game up as well. Hello, James Donovan Clancy. Right. Here we go. Alright. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. They're in the huddle. We're ready to go at Marvel Stadium. And yeah, I'll be able to keep you guys updated throughout the game. I'll do like live commentary and all that cool stuff as well. So, yeah. Sounds pretty good. I'll be getting ready to get the stopwatch going. And then when the scores of Hawthorn Essendon come up, I'll just update those as they go. So, yeah. Alright. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Bounce is about to happen for this round 1 clash. Fremantle and St Kilda. It is definitely a big blockbuster game. Here we go. The bounce is underway. I'm about to start the timer. And we are ready to go at Marvel for this Sunday afternoon clash. Fremantle got the opening clearance through Brayshaw. And it's been marked by the Saints on the 50. And they're going to take it out of the 50 now. Feel free to let me know. Yeah, feel free to just chat to me, be on in the chat. Stuff like that. Tackle up on the wing. Stoppage up on the wing. Alright. Right, we are working so far. Right. Just going to go over the banner. Yeah, this is Ross the Boss's first game versus... Yeah, this is Ross the Boss's first game versus his former side, which he used to work for in the Dockers. He's back at the he's back at the Saints for a stint, coaching stint, and the Dockers got the first through Frederick. He's put it through, and they have got the first of the game to the Dockers. Took them a minute to get going, and they scored it within the first minute of the countdown timer. And I do not have any scores for the other game at the moment, so I'll just probably delete the other game for now. I'll just go ahead and just delete the other one. Oh, here we go. The chat box is working. The chat box is working. That is absolutely massive. Thoughts on the draw, says Shannon. It's interesting. It's interesting. First game of the year, you get a draw. It's very interesting indeed. Oh, and finally, we've actually got scores for the other game. Just as I delete it, it doesn't really matter. doesn't really matter. Right. Back into the middle. The Dockers are going to go through again. Out of the middle they go. Oh, good intercept from Sinclair. He was really good last year for the Saints, was Jack Sinclair. He had a great year last year for the Saints. I feel like he's going to have another good year again this year. Another good year coming up for Sinclair, I reckon. Young takes a nice mark. So this is only the second game at Marvel for round 1 as well. They've played most of the games at the MCG in Melbourne throughout round 1 as well, which is it's interesting. But yeah. So far, it's been a great round of footy, which I'll be able to go over the round of footy at halftime or something like that. Perhaps that could be like what I do for halftime. Perhaps 37-53 Hawthorn Essendon at the moment. Essendon in front. The Dockers are in their defensive half. Ryan kicks it out wide. Oh, that's a horrible kick. Great intercept by Wood there for the Saints. He kicks it in. And all alone is Butler. In a space of his own. Wow. That's as easy as you get. There for Butler. We've seen a couple of games where it's just been too easy for some teams, especially at some stages. That was just way too easy. There for Butler. That was just way too easy there for Dan Butler. Here we go. So it's about a 40-45 metre kick here for Butler. And put it out wide and it's not coming back. It's going to be through for a touch behind for the Saints. First behind of the game. There we go. Right. Dockers coming out defensive 50 now. Here we go. Brayshaw's got it. He could, if he has a breakout year, he could definitely be in contention for the Brownlow medal. Could Andy Brayshaw? I'll be able to move this as well, just over there. Right. Well, I'll be able to give you guys some live score updates of Hawthorn Essendon. I'm just going to go and check my connection again real quick though. Yep. Right, there we go. Still all going good. A mark right on the goal line of defensive 50 there for the Dockers. Clark's going to work it out. Short ball to Brody. Brody had a great year last year as well for Fremantle. He was absolutely amazing there for the Dockers last year, Will Brody. He had a breakout year. He was fantastic. Absolutely superb for Fremantle. Absolutely superb for the Dockers. Right. We'll just be able to turn that down. Right. It's on the wing. They're going to switch here, the Dockers. That was a pretty poor kick. They're completing the switch by going to Cox. Out wide. He grabs it. He sends it in. That's risky to Aish, and it's going to be a turnover. The Saints are going to get it. Hill is so good for the Saints as well. He's probably going to be one of their best. Feel free to let me know anything in chat if you want. If you want to talk or ask me a question, feel free to let me know. Right, let's see. Filippo, this is his first look. A beautiful save from the boundary. Flicked it over to Crouch. Pretty sure this is Ross now on 50. What's he going to do? He's going to send it in high. Who's underneath it for the Saints? Nobody. Brayshaw will clear it out. Defensive 50. And it's a great juggling mark there from Sukowski. Oh, and it's come back to Brayshaw. And they're going to switch through Clark. Alright, here we go. Pierce. What's he going to do? Going to send it wide. Anybody watching right now, do you think that the Saints can cause an upset? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in chat if you think the Saints can actually cause an upset. Without King, without lots of their good players, Billings, Membry, well, Billings might be playing, but Membry's not. They've got tons of players out due to injury. Do you think they pull off won the upsets of the year early on this year? I wonder. Alright, here we go. Inside 50. Schultz. Bending. That might have gone through. Is it going to be a score review? Or is it going to count as a goal? Oh, it's a free... Oh, no. Hang on. It's a free kick. A block. So it's going to be going back now. St Kilda's way. Mason Wood. If he has a really good game, he can have great games. Can Mason Wood. He had a really good game versus Brisbane last year on a Friday night. He was absolutely amazing in that game. So if Mason Wood has a good game here, that's going to definitely help the Saints if they want to try and win this game against a Dockers side that would definitely be having top 4 aspirations. We've got 8 in now. That is absolutely amazing. 8 people in. Here we go. Aish sends it inside 50. Brayshaw just dropped the mark. He's going to snap it around. He's going to find Henry, is he? Yes, he will. Liam Henry, it's a very tough kick, I tell you that. It is a very tough kick. He's going to centre it inboard to Darcy, who nearly got there. Schultz run down. Saints trying to get it out. And that should be a ball up there. Right. Only got 4 in chat now, but that's still alright. Sinclair, high ball out of there. From the clearance. Wilson's definitely a forgotten Docker. Aish. Put it inside 50. Hill. Crouch. Howard. Wilkie, they're going to be able to work their way out of this one. The Saints, their defence has actually held up so far. But that is definitely the Dockers' problem in my opinion. Their problem would be their scoring for Fremantle. I feel like if it's anywhere that probably does let them down, would have to be their scoring. Long kick down the line. It's not going to be paid a mark. Yes, it is. It is going to be paid a mark. The Saints can get a go from here. Got it on the 50. Fast ball movement here. Outside 50. Short. Out the back all alone was Gresham. This is going to have to be a certain goal. Right, I'm just going to check my connection again. Yeah, excellent connection. We are still going all good at the moment. This is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Jade Gresham. He should be able to convert this. And they need to convert this as well. Bang. Never in doubt, Jade Gresham. He was always going to get it from there. Right, let's find St Kilda's score. Right. They've got their first on the board, and now they lead by 1 point. There we go. 7-6 at the moment. 10 minutes already gone in this quarter. It's a low-scoring game, but at Marvel you can expect a scrappy contest like that. Sometimes it can be high-scoring at Marvel, but sometimes you won't get a high-scoring game either. So yeah, 7-6 at the moment. Both sides have been evenly matched this quarter as well at the moment, which I like about this game. It's the Saints' 150th anniversary year, as we know as well, so they're going to want to put up a good season this year, and a win or at least competing here could be absolutely massive. Back into the middle. Saints, Clark. Haven't seen a lot of Clark. He's been injured. He's had a really poor career so far. He's going to flick that one out. Just on the 50 here for the Saints. They're going to go inside 50. And it's going to be thumped out of bounds by Fremantle to get a stoppage, which is exactly what you'd want if you're in that scenario. Got 5 people watching the stream now. Hello and welcome to everybody. So far we're going pretty well with this stream, and still got it out there. Bouncing ball, unkind bounce for Cox, but it got through to Pearce. A wobbler, but it's going to get out. Clark, he's got some great speed. He shows it. Just a little toe poke. Not far down the ground now. Swakowski getting in there, getting dirty. Brody, and it's going to be a free kick back to Swakowski. So the Dockers are going to be able to at least have a good look, and they're going to switch. They're going to switch at the moment here. The Dockers. Nice little stab into the middle, well, onto the wing. Now wider onto the wing to Schultz. Schultz long down the line. Inside 50, great grab Marshall. Going back defensively as a ruckman is so important. Super important. You've got to go back defensively as a ruckman. You really just have to. Wide kick now. Here go the Saints. So they've switched from that Marshall mark. Hayes. Sorry, that wasn't Hayes. That was not Hayes. Clark. Here we go. The Saints. Flying shot from 50. It's going to go through. It's another for the Saints. They've got their second on the board. That is absolutely massive. And that was Higgins. They still don't have a bad group there, to the Saints. They still actually have a decent group at the moment there. Just make that a little bit smaller. Wow. Flying shot from 50. I think it was more intended of a pass. Didn't end up being a pass. That's just absolutely amazing though from Higgins. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty sometimes, but just his work right there, 50 metres. Just a pass to Butler, but just got the kind bounce. Goes through and the Saints are up by 7 at the moment. The Bombers, 37-65 at the moment. Bombers up over at the MCG at the moment as well. Sorry that I don't have live scores up or anything like that. I deleted it and wish that I didn't. But anyway, though, I'll be able to give you guys some live score updates from that game as well. Clark, he's been everywhere. He has a flying shot from 50, and it's just going to stop outside. Just rushed over by the Dockers defence, who are under the pump at the moment. It's fair to say. It's fair to say they're under the pump at the moment. They are, yeah, they're having a couple of troubles here. Are the Saints? Sorry, the Dockers, they're under the pump. They're having a couple of troubles at the moment. This will be interesting though, because their forward line is their concern. Out of anything in their game, it is their forward line which would be their concern, for sure. Definitely. Right. This game might end up turning out to be one of those unlikely thrillers. Clark again! I tell you what, this man's just been absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere in these last couple of moments. He's just been on fire, has Hunter Clark. And it's great to see, like, he hasn't played a lot of footy because he's had tough luck with injuries. But it's great to see that he's back and actually playing some really nice footy to start off. To start off what he's been doing so far. Because he's a younger player as well. Like he's a top round draft. He's like a first round draft pick, and it's great to see that he has actually gotten back and yeah, he's playing some good footy. Down the line, go the Saints. And what's going to happen here? It's being called a free kick to the Dockers. So this is quite an important chance for them. They need to make the most of this chance. Luke Jackson. Haven't seen a lot of him so far. He's going to go back to Cox. Who's also had a fair bit of the footy. They're going to switch. Clark, who's also had a fair bit of the footy. You can see these names are quite similar in terms of the position they play, which is defence. Cox now. Good grab. They're just working their way slowly but steadily down the ground are the Saints. Let's see what we've got so far with leading ball getters and stuff like that for this game. Right. Let's see what we've got. 37-71 at the moment. Hawks Bombers game. The Bombers are getting on top. So let's see what we've got here. Cox, Clark, Brayshaw, Ryan at the moment are leading the AFL Fantasy. Disposals 9 already for Cox, 7 for Ryan and Clark, and that's Jordan Clark. Hunter Clark's already got 5 on the board. Brayshaw's got 6. Filippo and H have also got 5. So things are getting interesting early. We might do a round 1 review at halftime, I reckon. I reckon that's what we'll do for halftime, is a bit of a round 1 review. Right. Here we go. The Dockers going to go inside 50. No. It's cut off by the Saints, who defensively so far have actually surprised me. They've actually done a really good job defensively so far. They have done an amazing job defensively. Filippo. Inside 50. Has got a chance to kick his first goal in AFL footy. And what a moment it would be as well. What a moment it would be if Mates Filippo, the number 10 pick for 2022 AFL draft, could get a goal. Snapping around. Oh, just short. Didn't make the trip. Fisted through by the Fremantle defence for a behind. And the Saints have been doing really well early, and the Dockers defence is just under the pump at the moment, I reckon. They've just... the Dockers just haven't looked their usual top 4 selves like they did last year. Cox. Here we go. Schultz. Fife. Schultz has run on. Taberner nearly. Sukowski's in the pocket. Oh, he's danced his way through a couple of them. Goes for the banana and just clips the post. He got a little bit too much bend on that. There did Sukowski. And yeah, he's going to end up missing. So 15-7. It's 37-77. The Bombers by 40 in the other game. So the Bombers have obviously found a way to go, even with no Peter Wright. Right. Here we go. If you guys can hear anything on the stream, it's just me watching it on another device, just to make sure that we're all up and running and all that. We'll do another little check of how we're going to be live for 22 minutes at the moment, which is good. Let's see. Excellent conditions still, so that's really nice. 3 viewers at the moment. Absolutely amazing stuff. And I appreciate everybody that's just, even if you've just dropped by for 5 minutes or a minute, I've just appreciated everybody that's come in so far. It's just amazing to see people's support. And I absolutely love that. Right, 15-7 at the moment for the last game of round 1. Right. 5 minutes to go until the end of the first quarter, which, plus when you add on stoppage and all that time, will probably be about 8. It's been a scrappy first quarter, to say the least. Right. 2-6 free kicks at the moment in favour of Fremantle. They've been lucky so far. Right. Right, here we go. The Dockers, they got another chance to go inside 50. It's in the middle, a long thumping ball would get it in. Sukowski, long high ball. Nearly. Schultz. Frederick's lurking around, so is Darcy and Taberner. They're all hanging around, and I'm pretty sure they've named Tracy in their side as well, because I'm pretty sure I saw the number 35 jumper, which, as we know, is Tracy's jumper. Darcy thumps that. Schultz can't quite whack that on his boot, though, and it's going to be another stoppage at the moment. Right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. He's been called holding the man, I'm pretty sure. And this is going to go to Schultz. So this should be a Dockers goal. He shouldn't be missing it from here, should Lockie Schultz. This would be a disappointment if he was to miss it from here, especially in a team which has got top 4 aspirations. Lockie Schultz, 24 metres out. Oh, yes. And he just hit that absolutely perfectly there And the Dockers get a fight back going now. They needed that. They needed one just to calm some nerves down. And yeah, that's an important goal. Right, I'm just going to select the font. I'm just going to go ahead and just change the font size. Right, there we go. Sweet. You know, we'll change the font a little bit more. Right, there we go. Sweet. We are all good at the moment. We are all good. Scores from stoppages: 1 for the Saints, 12 for the Dockers. Of course, that one would have just been a score from a stoppage. Right, the live chat isn't working as well as what I hoped. So if I do stream, the next time that I stream, which I can't guarantee when that'll be, I'll have to see if I can fix that one and maybe just get a YouTube live one in there perhaps instead. Oh, Filippo! Is that his first goal for Filippo? Was that might have been, I think that was Filippo that just kicked that. Yeah, Filippo. And that is going to be his first goal in football there for the young man. That is absolutely insane. And you know, I'm just going to go and make sure that's Filippo because I don't want it not to be Filippo. But it was a bending ball. And yeah, that was insane. No, that was Mitch Owens. That's the one. That was not Filippo. What number is Filippo even wearing? What number is Filippo wearing? I don't know what number he's wearing. Filippo. Where have they even played Filippo? So 10's Owens. Filippo's 25. Because I don't really know a lot about the Saints. I didn't know that was... Yeah, so that's Owens that kicks the goal. That was a great snap though from Owens. That was absolutely remarkable. And the Saints are up 3-3-21 to 2-1-13 at the moment. It's absolutely insane. So the subs are Patton and Banfield for both sides. It's 37-84 at the moment in the Bombers-Hawks game. Let's see some stats in this one real quick. Warple's 22 disposals is the most on the ground. Who's actually kicked some goals? Wiedemann's kicked 2 goals. Perkins kicked 2 goals. Draper has kicked 2 goals. Bruce, Wingard, Jones, Menzie, Amon, Green, Jaff, Redmond, Ridley, Setterfield, Caldwell, Davey Jr. have also been involved in goals as well. And Sicily is currently best on ground. Interesting. Right, we'll chuck this back on my stream. Right. Oh, here we go. Another shot for the Saints. It's another shot for the Saints. Another shot for the Saints. This is big. This is a massive kick in this game if they can get another shot. In goes Burns. Darcy. Good grab. Little too far out for him to... Little too far out for the score. Frederick. Short little kick to Aish. Little kick. Nearly to O'Meara, but it's going to be another turnover. They have made countless turnovers at wrong past the ground of the Dockers, although both sides have made turnovers though. But yeah, that's a poor one. That's a really poor one in the spot where you can't do that because it goes inside 50. Brayshaw gets it out, handballs it to Frederick, who handballs it to Henry. They have got to get out here. They need to score the Dockers to finish off the quarter with 1:25 on the clock. They're going up the corridor. It's going to be a bouncing ball inside 50. Who's going to get there first? Jackson. Really nicely done from Howard. Webster goes to ground and got it out of there. And now to Wanganeen Miller. And they are out of trouble, at least momentarily, are the Saints. Wood up the middle. Up the wing. To Gresham, who used his body really well. Does he stay ahead? He keeps it in anyway for the next runner to come, who was Young. He's going to be able to clear the ball out. Defensive 50 for the Dockers. Fife picks it up on the wing. Handballs that one into Brayshaw. Just dropped by O'Meara. It's coming out. It's coming out. Here goes Hill. He's running the wrong way. Bananas it into the centre of the ground. Ugly kind bounce. That's a very ugly bounce. It's going to be the Dockers ball. And nearly a turnover. In fact, it might be from Hill. Sukowski comes in, grabs it. Flicks it out wide. A stoppage here is what both sides would want. And that is exactly what happens. And I could not see another team getting a goal for the rest of this quarter. There's not a lot of time left on the clock. Let's see what we've got here. Just 18 seconds. And still, he's wrapped up. That ticks down the clock. 13 seconds and we're nearly at quarter time. That has been a very long quarter so far. 28 minutes. 28 minute quarter. And then that'll be quarter time and we'll just be able to have a little chat. Here we go, got a couple more people. Richmond Tigers fan, first time watching Flaming Footies live. Hello Richmond Tigers fans, sorry I've just been invested in these last couple minutes of footy. It's quarter time. There's your siren to end the quarter. So it is the Saints by 8 at the moment at quarter time. And I tell you what, it's been a really good game and a really good fight from the Saints so far. But yes, hello Richmond Tigers fan. Amazing. I'm absolutely amazed that I'm live. I cannot believe it. To be completely honest, cannot believe that I've actually managed to go live and stuff like that. Absolutely amazing stuff. But it is quarter time. It is 21-13. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on that quarter in the chat, or if you want to let me know, if you want to ask me like what my prediction is or something like that, feel free to let me know. But yes, 21-13 at quarter time. How do I feel on that quarter? Well, I mean, look, I just feel like the Saints really just had a good quarter. I think the Saints really just had a great quarter that quarter. Yeah, I think the Saints just had a really good quarter. Both teams did make some mistakes though, which does put a couple question marks around the Dockers, I reckon. I reckon that does put a couple of question marks around the Dockers. Just their first half there. They're going inside 50. The Saints defences just seem to be holding tight at the moment, which is great for them. That is great for the Saints defence. They've been managing to hold tight in this first quarter. So, yeah, they've done a really good job defensively, the Saints. I reckon the Saints defence could be a little bit underrated as well. Let's see who the Saints have actually got in their defence and go from there, make up our minds on their defence from there. Right. The Saints defence. Who is in there? Battle, Howard, Wilkie, Wanganeen, Miller, Sinclair, Stocker. And then Hill is a defensively running midfielder as well. I love how he gets up the ground. Mason Wood can also drift back there. Zane Cordy's in the forward line. Haven't seen much of him at all. And then in terms of on the bench, Webster and Clark can both be defenders as well. I do want to see the Saints players though. I want to see how they're going. Advanced. No. Basic. St Kilda. Right. So the best on ground at the moment for the Saints is Jack Steele, followed by Hill, followed by Wood. Goals behinds. Higgins, Owens, Gresham, Clark have helped with scores, whether that be a goal or behinds. Disposals, 7 for Clark, 7 for Hill, 7 for Steele, 6 for Crouch. So let's see. Yeah, Zane Cordy's had 1 touch, 0-0, 4 AFL fantasy at the moment, and he's had 1 hit out. That is it so far for Zane Cordy. For a recruit from the Western Bulldogs, even though he's a free agent, I feel like Saints fans would want to have a bit of hype around that guy. And at the moment, they'd probably be a little bit disappointed from what they've seen from him so far. Right, score check, 39-85 at the moment. The Bombers are absolutely thumping the Hawks. And earlier today, a sad result for me. My Crows lost by 16 to the Giants, which is definitely a disappointment. But the Giants just were the better side. They've got some great young talent to the Giants. So do the Crows though, but yeah, the Giants have got some really good young up-and-coming talent. So you've got to give it to them. But yeah, I do feel like the Crows would have been a little bit disappointed there because they actually went inside 50 with much more flair and excitement than the Giants. I feel like the Giants really did just get lucky there. It was like Gold Coast last night. They were just relying on tons of luck to go their way when going inside 50. So, yeah, but we're not too far away from the second quarter getting underway. But, yeah. So the only other game played at Marvel this weekend was North and West Coast, 87-82. That was an absolute cracking game, that one, after North led by 33 at one stage and the margin was cut back to just be 5 points in the end. That was a really good game and a really close end game. So it's currently 21-13. We are pretty much about to get ready for quarter 2, for the second quarter coming up from Marvel. And yeah, I feel like this is a big quarter. Every quarter is a big quarter. But this can be a big make or break. If the Saints can hold in defensively as well here, I feel like they could have a massive chance to come out in the second half of the game. And then in that fourth quarter, it's just going to be coming down to who has the better legs, who stays fresh for longer. 39-92 in the other game at the moment. The Bombers are absolutely demolishing the Hawks. And my question for the Hawks was, how are the Hawks going to score? And yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to score this year. Because they've given away tons of experience over the off-season. And yeah, I feel like that's really going to hurt them this year. Especially that loss of Gunston. Because now it's just Bruce, who's a great player, Lewis, who they already rely on a lot. And then, yeah, you've got Wingard, who's not as great as what he was. And other players like Moore, who's also just a sometimes player. But anyway, though, this is the game that we're focusing on. There's some stats that come up on the screen. 13-1 defensive half. Saints in front in that aspect. Centre bounce 7-0 Saints. And then forward half 1-12 in favour of the Dockers. So that's where the Dockers have got most of their scores, is forward half. So here we go. Second quarter is not far away now. We have done one quarter in my first live reaction for, well, the first live reaction ever. And now we're going to be going for the second quarter. Feel free to chuck some chats down in chat. I always appreciate reading your guys' thoughts on the current game that's going on. Here we go, though. We are going to be getting ready for the second quarter. Players are taking their positions. We'll just double check again that everything's still running good, excellent condition, absolutely amazing. Shannon. I pick in the Margin Comp next week. Don't know just yet, but we're focusing on this game right now. We are focusing on this game right now. Right, here we go. Second quarter is underway. And here we go. We have started for the second quarter. And it is going to be a ball up in the middle. Ball up in the middle at the moment. To start off the second quarter, sorry. Here we go, let's see what's going to happen here. Ball up again, so it's just, I reckon this game is going to be a bit of a contested, oh hang on, wait, I've got to get quarter 2 up as well, sorry about that. I reckon this game could be a bit of a contested slop for most of it. 8-4 clearance in favour of the Saints. Are the Saints going to be a surprise packet this year? Can the Saints do well this year? I wonder whether that's going to be the case. The Saints could have a breakout year and could finish as high as 8th, really. But they could also finish like really as low as 16th, 17th. There's probably a couple of people out there which actually have them as their wooden spooners as well. So feel free to let me know in the chat, where do you have the Saints finishing this year on your ladder? I've had them finishing 13th. But I just feel like they are just so unpredictable this year, the Saints. I just feel like they are just so unpredictable this year, the Saints, that they could really finish anywhere in that wide variety of the ladder. But yeah, anyway though, down the line, the Dockers, smart tap in and tapped out by Clark, who has just felt to be in a lot of places so far this game. I feel like Hunter Clark's been in some places, been in some places this game. Right. Just give me a minute to do something. Dockers are switching at the moment. Ryan's got it, and he's not sure what to do with it. Right, let's go into here. Alright, the Dockers are just working their way slowly but steadily. Clark, who's had a ton of the footy, and talking a ton of the footy. He has just been absolutely everywhere. Has Hunter Clark. Hunter Clark, the other Clark as well, Jordan Clark. The Clarks have actually been in lots of places, I reckon, today. And there's been a couple of other players as well, which have just been absolutely amazing as well. So, yeah, there's been a lot going on, and a lot of players which have just been everywhere. But my main thing is, though, is that it's more these defensive midfielders which have had a lot of the ball, which does almost tell you about the game. It's been low scoring. It's been a contested game. It's been a scrappy contest. I mean, Marvel games can be scrappy. They are more of the... I feel like Marvel games are scrappier than any other games for whatever reason. Maybe it's just under the roof or something, but you either have a really high scoring game there or a really low scoring game. We saw the grand final rematch last year between the Dogs and the D's, 110 to 100, but then we saw the Doggies and the Giants 62-57, Tigers and Dockers 52-52, that it can be low scoring as well. So I reckon this one could get high scoring. My tip was 83-98, Dockers winning, but again, on the other hand, I don't know. I felt like it could have been a bigger win, could be a smaller win, could be Saints win, could be a big win for them. Who knows at the moment? I've got no clue. But yeah. Anyway, though, inside 50, go the Dockers. It's right in the goal square, and it's going to be going through for a behind, I'm pretty sure, for the Saints. Sorry, for the Dockers. Nah, I reckon it might be a free kick. It's a free kick. It's a free kick on to Jackson. So is this the moment that Luke Jackson kicks his first goal for Fremantle? It's going to be a tough left foot snap for him. Oh no. Oh no, that is shank of the year from Luke Jackson. Every time somebody goes for that banana, lots of, like, I don't know, it's almost like a 50% chance they're just going to hit the wrong side of the boot altogether. We saw a lot of that last year. They're just going to hit the wrong side of the boot altogether and miss out on the full, disappointingly enough, there for Luke Jackson. So now the Saints have just been given a free ticket out of defensive 50, which could be really important. They needed this. They need some momentum. 39-92 in the other game, three-quarter time. Here go the Saints. Oh, that ball movement up the middle is working out for them at the moment. Wobbler down to Darcy, just goes past. Jordan Clark's been absolutely everywhere, as I've said today. Nasiah Wanganeen Miller has given away a free kick to Brayshaw. Brayshaw, who, as I've said so far this afternoon, could be in Brownlow contention this year. I feel like he had a really good year last year, and he could be in Brownlow contention this year. So they're going to switch again. Cox has also been a large ball getter so far today as well. It's going to be a free kick to Schultz. For the Dockers, who's running away with a quick dash of speed. And there's a free kick down here. And what is happening here? I think it might be going the Saints' way. The Dockers' way. For a jumper hold to Taberner. Taberner just absolutely has to put this through. There's no reason why he shouldn't. This has just got to go through for the Dockers. Now, they've just... Oh, and it's 50. Well, that should just about guarantee it. And Taberner's put it through. He sure has. That's important. Cuts the margin to 2. In a game where both sides have had their moments. And so it's a jumper hold on Taberner. They were both holding the jumpers. In fact, it looked like Taberner was holding it for longer, but I think Wilkie did it first. And then descent, 50 metres, which takes him to the goal line. And then obviously from there, any player in the game just has to put that through. Tabner does exactly that and cuts the margin back to 2 points. Matt Tabner, 4 disposals, 1 goal, 39-92. Hawthorn, Essendon are absolutely smashing the Hawks. Do they get the job done by more than 100 points? That'll be an interesting question to be asked. O'Meara, the fend off and goes out of the middle. Pops it into 50. Brayshaw taps it on. It goes the way for the Saints defence. And that's a high little uppish ball. Could be marked by Jackson. And he's taken the mark. And that's H actually with the headband on. That takes a nice mark there. It's a 50-metre kick, so it is tough. And descent. Again. Again descent. That's 50. And that is going to be another guaranteed goal for the Dockers. So now they should be in front. James H on the goal line. And the Dockers are in front by 4 points. That is their 4th goal that they've put through. And just like that, the game has changed. They've kicked the last couple of goals here of the Dockers. And they're in front by 4 all of a sudden. And if you're the Saints, you'd be annoyed with that. Because that really shouldn't have happened there. They should not have given away that free kick. And that descent. That free kick to Tabner shouldn't have happened. And both times the descent should not have happened. Both times. But again though, a little bit of descent and you will be paid 50 metres. It'll be 50 metres all day long. All day long it'll be 50. So, yeah. James H has been really good as well though. He's coming alive, is James H. 34-61 marks. We'll go through at half time, we'll go through stats, we'll go through the round review so far. We'll have a little review of the round, even though I will make a round review for the channel. I will do that on Tuesday, just like what we did. Last year. I'll be able to do that on Tuesday, just like what we did last year. Got 4 watching at the moment, and the Dockers are going to be going inside 50 again. Here we go. Long ball, Wilkie, great grab. The Saints defence has been under the pump today, but I like how they've been able to stand up really well. But that's a great smother from Frederick. He's an excitement machine at the Dockers, and it is going to force them over the boundary line. Right. Now I'm just going to see how the live stream is going. We're going all good in excellent condition. Great to see. Great to see the first stream on the channel is actually going really well. Absolutely amazing stuff. Darcy out of the ruck. Taps it down for Swikowski. Immediately tackled as soon as the ball entered his hands. Absolutely came on from behind. Inside 50 so far this quarter, 1-5 in favour of the Dockers. Kicking efficiency 22% to 90% in favour of the Dockers. It's all Dockers this quarter. It's another entry inside 50, so that's 1-6 now. The Saints defence is under the pump. Liam Henry got through a little bit of traffic. Brody, back to Henry again. He couldn't finish it, could he? He doesn't. He gives it over to Ashley Might. It's a bouncing ball, and it's just missed. I was going to say, that's gone past everybody. That would have been a miraculous finish had of that gone through for a goal. Right. There we go. 21-26. Saints by 5. Dockers by 5 at the moment. Here we go. Pearce, Young, Hughes, Brody, O'Meara. Going to go long. Swikowski's all alone. Has he played on? He hasn't. The umpire's going to pay him the mark. That was great transition movement there from the Dockers. From defensive 50 to attacking 50 with fast handballs, no kick mark slowness. Fast handballs, dashing run. They were willing and prepared to take the game on there. That is what you absolutely love to see. That is really important. And yeah, they could be paying full price here, the Saints, which would be devastating for them if they were going to have to pay full price. Swikowski has shanked that off the boot. Is it behind, which makes the lead an even 6 points at the moment. But they could be up by a little bit more, the Dockers. Especially if a couple of those had gone through. 45-93 the other game. Between the Hawks and the Dons. Right, the Saints, they've got to try and find a way to get out of defence. They have to find a way to get out of defence, and they've got to find a way to get in their 50. They've been able to get up to about 70, 80 out from their goal. It's been that last kick inside 50, which they've struggled with. But here they go. This has just got to work for them this time. 3-on-2. The 3-on-2, the numbers are in their favour. Frederick got back, helped out defensively. That is a cracking help out defensively there from Frederick. He is running really well. He's moving fast. And he is happy to run up and back as many times as he is needed to. So here we go. The Dockers send it up. Frederick's there. He's been in most places. So yeah, at halftime we'll be going through stats and all that good stuff. We'll be going through the round which we've just had. We've got a big little halftime show, you could say, coming up as well. It's just good to have a plan. I've already planned out what I'm going to be doing for halftime, because that can be the longest time to fill in, and it's great that I've already come up with something. And if you guys want to put something in the chat for me to answer at halftime or something on the round so far, like what you on the round, on what's happened so far this round. If you want me to answer a question on my opinion so far on the round or something like that, feel free to leave your thoughts in chat at halftime, and I'll be able to respond. Here we go. Kaminti, number 47. Is this his first go in Saints colours? Where is he going to have the shot from? It's 50 metres, so it's tough. That's been kicked pretty well. Just to behind, though. Unfortunately enough for him, but that was a great kick. He managed to kick it 50 with ease. With absolute ease, he kicked that 50, which is great to see there for Committee, or Kaminti, however you're going to pronounce his name. That is absolutely amazing to see that he had 50 in him comfortably as well. Comfortably. Alright. Here we go. The Saints take it. Again, the handball's going to work to Crouch. He's a good kick. He goes inside 50. This is the part that's got to be done right. That is a great grab from Cox. He's just been everywhere, has Brennan Cox today, for the Dockers in the defensive 50. Chapman, who we haven't seen as much of so far. We've seen more of Cox and Young and players like that, and Clark. But we've seen a little bit of Chapman. Clark. Here we go. This is the fast ball movement. Jackson. He's going to get it back, is Luke Jackson. Short little cute kick up to Fife. Haven't seen a lot of him so far, but great chance for him to go inside 50. And the kick, though, from Nat Fife was poor. And it's going to be a nice intercept there from Battle. So here we go. The Saints. Short little kick. Can they get some transition up the middle? Sinclair takes a bounce. Gives it to Nasai Wanganeen Miller, who's keen to go up the middle. It's big Falcon there. Anna's coming back the Dockers' way. Clark just let that slip, though. Is that going to cost him? He sockers it out to himself. He got it back again. Little dribbler. Behind. So the margin is back to 6 points now. 6 points is the current margin at the moment in the second quarter. Got 8 minutes to go. So it's been it's 9 minutes pretty much to go. It's been a reasonably quick quarter at the minute, but could be a longer one depending on what happens in these last 8.5 minutes. Couple bounces there. The kick was horrible though. It's got to work. Clark. Hunter Clark. He couldn't get one, could he? He snaps it on his left. The goalkeeper was in place there for the Dockers, which was Ryan Higgins. What's the umpire going to say on that? Nothing. It's Chapman to Ryan. Sorry, not to Ryan. To to Henry. And Young just happy to professionally let that one go over the boundary line for a stoppage inside the Saints 50. And let's see at the moment the other game scores. 52 Hawthorn, 99 Essendon. It's a big lead at the moment for the Bombers. Got 3 watching at the moment. If you have anybody that you think might like the stream to come and have a little watch, feel free to let them know, and hopefully we can try and get some subscribers as well in the process. But yes, here we go. Boundary throw in. It's going to be a free kick to Marshall. Are they going to call this 50? No, it's a free kick to Jackson actually, who passes it over to Henry, who has spotted Michael Frederick perfectly. Chucked it wide to Tracy. That was a below average kick, but Pearce came to help. They're there in a swarm now. Tracy rolls it to 55. He's going to have to look at another option. Schultz, that might be too wide. Out in the full is the call there. 22-28 at the moment. 7 minutes 40 seconds to go till the end of the quarter. And it is a big contest here. And the Saints have actually played really well so far this half. Their defence has been really good, and I'll be able to dig a little bit deeper into their defence, how good it is at half time. Here we go though, Aish. The whistle's blown. It's going to be a free kick against the Dockers. It's going to be going the Saints' way. Here we go. Long down the line. Can somebody clunk one here? Flyers flew. Still getting in there. The Dockers are going to be able to get it out. Brayshaw. Chapman. Swikowski. Wide kick to Frederick, who's been in all sorts of places. He may as well take off and have run. There's plenty of room for him to run. He could back his pace in, although it is against Wanganeen Miller, who is reasonably fast as well though. And that's going to be out of bounds on the full. No good there. No good there at all by Michael Frederick. That is one of his not so great moments so far today though. So now, short little kick. They're going to have to work away out of defence here, the Saints. And they need to work a safe way out of defence as well, I tell you that. They need to work out a safe way. Hello V8 Supercar 9402/Ethan Ashley Kelly. Hello Go Fremantle is what they say. I reckon the Dockers will win as well. Hello though. Welcome to the stream. This quarter has been a good one. The Saints' kicking efficiency has gone up as well. They've been spotting out most of their targets now. I remember saying about 15 minutes ago that was down at 20% at the start of the quarter. It is now up to 65. So that is a plus 45% increase from the start of the quarter. They've got a decent crowd in at Marvel as well today, by the looks of things, for this game. So what's the call here? The umpire's blowing the whistle, giving a free kick to the Saints. Probably a jumper hold, I'd say. Long kick down the line. High kick as well. That's a very high kick, and Chapman nearly set himself. Kick inside 50 by the Saints. There's numbers, but Wilson on Higgins. Great grab. Nathan Wilson. We have forgotten all about this man. He hasn't been seen in a little while, but he's trying to make his name back in AFL footy. And here he's again with another touch. Pops it out ahead of Darcy. Got pushed there, I reckon. Lucky the Saints there. The Saints were lucky not to give away that free kick for a bit of a push. Darcy maybe staged that though. Hill had a bounce and ran around them all. Gives it up over the top. Another high kick inside 50. Who's the markers here? Cordy went up. Higgins. And taken out by Clark. It's a roller, but it's going to be stopped nicely. It's another entry. This is a massive kick for the Saints now. This is a really important kick. This is a super important kick. They have to nail their chances, the Saints. Especially in a game which you feel like the Dockers are just dominating at the moment. But yes, the set shot on goal is going to be for Bytel. This is important. Jack Bytel. Haven't seen a lot of him. 6 disposals, 3 marks of score involvement today. 45-metre kick. That looks pretty good off the boot. Jack Bytel. And that is the equaliser. They needed something. And they deliver. 4-4-28. It is square at the moment at Marvel for this game. The other game is 53 to 106. The Bombers are absolutely smashing the Hawks. They lead. They've doubled their score. They lead by 53 at the moment to the Bombers. And the end of that game should happen at half-time of this one. So, we'll be able to go over that game as well during the half-time break. As we know, we're going to be doing a round review and a first half review as well in the half-time break. We should be able to pass time pretty quickly. But 28-28 at the moment. We've got 4 minutes to go. Definitely still enough time for another goal for somebody to get. So, yeah, it's just really down to now which team wants it. There's plenty of time still for a goal to go either way. There's plenty of time. You could even get 3 goals here, which could be game-changing. So, Brad Crouch flicked it out straight to Henry, though, who's been really good today, Liam Henry. Although that's definitely not his best moment. Crouch going in. He flicks it out. Butler to Hill. Oh, great from Wilson. Those little defensive efforts. That little smother. It went straight back to Hill, though. Butler now with the boundary line. Hill off the ground to gain some metres. And it's going to work out for the Saints. Who's at home? Great grab. Port Adelaide legend says, lol. Lol. I don't know what lol is at. But it's been a good game so far. So let's see. Here we go. This is a big shot. This is a massive shot here for Filippo. That is his first goal in football. And it has been a big one, because it has put the Saints up by 6. And they regain the lead. What a game the Saints are playing at the moment. Filippo is playing absolutely beautifully as well. It's just those little moments, and I've seen that he's been around the ball a little bit. And we've got 7 watching at the moment as well. Absolutely amazing stuff. We've got 8 people watching now. No, we've got 7 at the moment. 7 people watching. But yes, Filippo, everybody would be happy. Filippo is he's staying on the ground. He's not going to be able to go off and have a little break though, is Filippo. But he has got his first goal in AFL footy in his first game in his round 1 debut. That settles the nerves. We've got 9 people watching now. Hello to everybody which is watching. At half time, we're going to be doing a round review and a game review as well. So nothing boring happening at half time. Nothing boring happening at all. So out of the middle, there's still plenty of time for scores. The Saints, if they get another, this would be massive. Sinclair handballs it backward. They're going to be able to find their way forward. Oh, that's a great mark. The one-hander, stick your one hand out there. Try and see if you can grab a mark, and he juggled it. We've got 10 people watching now. Hello to everybody which is watching, and this is a stream high 10 people. Absolutely amazing stuff. Right. Wanganeen Miller sends it high down the line. Here we go, Brayshaw. Right, we're just gonna. Right, there we go. Right. It's going to be ball up. 2 minutes 42 to go until it's the half-time break. And yeah, I tell you what, it is a really big game so far. And it's been a close game as well, which is great to see. Great to see a close game here. Went past Brayshaw. They need one more here, the Dockers. Darcy, is there time for one more? I reckon there might, but there's still 2:22 on the clock. Wilkie nearly grabbed it, but got a boundary throw in, which I'd still have to say for the Saints is definitely a good result. Got 10 people in. Got 10 people in at the moment as well. So again, hello to everybody which is watching. Right. Time forward half, the Saints 52%. To the Dockers 48%. This has been really important. This has been a game-changing moment as well. Sinclair puts it out. Pearce and Owens fighting for it on the wing. It's nobody's ball, however. It's going to be a ball up. 14-9 clearances at the moment. That's a big stat in favour of the Saints. They just seem to do things this game right. And I reckon we got the unlikely thriller happening here. I mean, we do know what Port Adelaide did yesterday to Brisbane. And they absolutely rocketed away in that third quarter. However, I feel like stats-wise, the Saints have won some stats, the Dockers have won some stats. Both their defences have held up, their forward lines have been questionable, but they're still getting some decent scores on the board, but it's been the defence. This has been a defensive game. The defence has had to be on, and both their teams' defence has been on. Gresham has got it. In the forward line. It's going to have to be a snap if he's a lefty, or a banana if he's a righty, or if he is far enough out to actually take a chance with the drop punt. I just don't think he will, though. I don't think he will, but he might. It looks like he's holding it for a banana or a snap. Nah. He's gonna go banana. Nah. I don't even know if he scored there. Has he scored? Or is that out on the full? I reckon that's out in the full. I reckon that is out in the full. Yeah, out in the full, no score. The Dockers, they've got 1:10 to run it up their end. This is really important. Got 5 people watching at the moment. This is really important. This is a big moment in this game. Henry got up. Nearly brought it down. Howard, now to Webster. And the Saints have just got to kill this clock for this last minute. And that is the one thing that you could not do, was kick it out in the full. And that's exactly what they did, was kick it out in the full. It's been a short quarter. These last 10 minutes have absolutely flown by. Goes to ground. The Saints have just got to hold on to this ball. And for the Dockers, they've got to try and find a quick snap out of here in these last 43 seconds. And there's definitely time. There's also time for the Saints to run it up their end and get a goal as well if they're game enough to do that. Brayshaw, nearly. Webster chucks it out there. It's going to be going to the boundary line. And yep, Owens just happily sees that one out. Happily sees that out. 31 seconds to go of the quarter. Darcy wins the hit out. It's going to be on the Saints' way though. And now Clark goes hard at the ball. Hill missed his little toe poke, which we wanted to do. The Dockers, they're going to take it back again here. Clark. This is an important moment. Henry. It's only going to be the Dockers that can score now. They need a mark here. They're going down the goal square. Tracy. Was he jumper held? I reckon he might have been jumper held there. And I think he was. He was. So this is for the equaliser. We've just hit 30 minutes for the quarter, because the clock is just frozen. But we're back and good running. So here we go. Sorry for background noise. Here we go. This is a big moment for Tracy. Bang, bang, bang. It goes through at half time. And we are all level. 5-4-34 plays 5-4-34 at the half-time break. You could not be any more even than that. And 34-34 at half-time. Well, there we go. What a quarter it has just been. We have had a even quarter. And I am going to be taking a 2-minute break. Roughly 2 minutes. And I will be back in just a moment. So yeah, that's the be back soon graphic, which is just going to be up for the next couple minutes. But I'll be back in 2 minutes after I have a quick break. And I'm just going to make sure which I'm muted. So I'm just going to mute myself now. Alright. I should be back. Are we back? Back. Alright, we are back and running at the moment. So, 34-34 at half time. And we have got about 17 minutes to buy. We've got 17 minutes to go until the game should be back underway, I'm pretty sure. So what we might do... I was saying we could react to the other game, but I don't think we will react to the other game, just because it's a boring game. There's no point doing that. It's 53-124 with 2 minutes to go, so there's no point reacting for just 2 minutes. Anyway, but we'll go through some stats of this game first, and then we'll go ahead and do a round review. What have we had so far this round is what we're going to be doing in just a moment. But anyway, though, here we go. We're going to have a little review of the game so far. So I've got some stats up, and it's currently 34-34, 5 goals, 4 apiece, as we all know. But AFL Fantasy at the moment, Luke Ryan, Brendan Cox, 82 each are leading that stat on the ground. And then Andrew Brayshaw, 70, Jordan Clark, 65, James Ace, 55, Brad Crouch, 54, Bradley Hill, 52, Ryan Burns, 51, Nathan Wilson, 51 are some of the highest AFL Fantasy scorers on the ground. Goals behinds, James Ace, 1 goal, 1 goal, 0 for Higgins, Owens, Filippo, Gresham, Bytel, Taberner, Tracy, Schultz, Frederick. So, disposals, we're going to have a little look at that, and then we're going to actually start going into some of the team stats when this thing wants to work. Right, here we go. Disposals, 19 for Ryan, 18 for Crouch, 17 for Cox, 16 for Clark, 16 for Brayshaw, 15 for Burns, 13 for Clark and Hill, 12 for Still and Wilkie. So before we go into some other stuff, I'm going to go over some players which I've been impressed with. So I feel like both teams' back six have held up really well. That's one thing which I've been impressed with from both sides, is their back six. I think both of their defence have held up really well, which is a great thing to see. It's a very defensive game. Another player which I like the look of so far this game has been Brad Crouch from Bradley Hill, Ryan Burns and Hunter Clark from the Saints. Them guys have been really important for the Saints, especially as they are more defensive-minded players as well. But I still feel like they have had some cracking moments. Now, for the Dockers, let's go over some players which I am impressed with. Obviously, their back six, which like Ryan, Cox, Clark. Been really impressed with Clark. I've also been impressed with Aish as well. I feel like Aish has had a really good game. Michael Frederick has just been seen to be in lots of different places as well, which I've been impressed with his work rate in different places. Lockie Schultz has also had a pretty decent day, and Sukowski, I think, has also had not a bad day as well. So now we're going to go to some team stats now before we have a little look at the round review. I'm going to go and check back my live chat again in just a moment. So I haven't responded to anybody's comments or anything like that. It's just because I'm currently reading stuff off a different device, looking at the stats on the AFL website and stuff like that, and I actually haven't been able to read comments at the moment, but if there's any live chat comments, I'll be going back to that before I actually start my round review. Disposals, all even, inside 50s locked at 25 apiece, disposal efficiency 72% Saints, 79% Dockers, so the Dockers have been better in that area. Free kicks 10-14, oh here we go, this is a stat which I always look at in my 3-game match reviews, is the hit outs 9-24 in favour of the Dockers. Clearances 16-10, centre clearances 5-3, stoppage clearances 11-7. So the Saints have been dominant in that aspect of the game. The Dockers have had a heap more uncontested possessions. 50-73 marks, more for the Dockers, but more marks inside 50 for the Saints, 6-4. Time in front at the moment has been in the Saints' favour. Biggest lead for the Saints has been 9 points. Meanwhile, the biggest lead for the Dockers has been 6. Right, let's see what else. Tackles inside 50, 1-7 in favour of the Dockers, 7 bounces to 2 in favour of the Saints. So, there we go. That is the that is the halftime stats stuff for both sides. There's no new chats here, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is we'll start a round review. I reckon we'll have a little look at the games so far this round. We've got plenty of time to do a round review, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do. My voice is already starting to get tired as well, so we're just going to take this one nice and slowly. And plus, we've still got plenty of time anyway. We've still got like 15 minutes before the quarter even starts. So, game is nearly over at the MCG. 46 seconds to go. It is 65 to 124 in favour of the Bombers. They've just led this game non-stop. 59 points. And apart from that first quarter, and most of the second quarter has been all Bombers in that third and fourth quarter, which reminds me very similar to that Port Adelaide game. Very similar to that. 65 to 124. The Hawks have just launched back though, kicking a couple of goals, and I'd be assuming that'd be a game. There, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is full time. So unless there's a shot after the siren or something like that, it's not really. It's going to be the margin, which is just going to be the depending thing now. And pretty sure that's full time. 65 to 124. Well, what does that do to the live ladder? It puts the Bombers on top. Swans, the D's, the Power, the Pies, the Giants, North Melbourne, Carlton, Richmond, and then Fremantle and St Kilda. If they do end up drawing, they would sit 10th and 11th. Due to alphabetical order? No, because then the Dockers would be higher. Just must be due to the game. Alphabetical order in the game, I reckon. That's what it is. But yes, we'll have a little look at that later on. But anyway, though, 65 to 124 at the end of the other game. We've only got 3 people watching right now, but I do understand that halftime can be reasonably boring for some. So, it is now time to go ahead and do a round review. I'm just going to have a little look at the live chat again and see if anybody's here. No, I've only got 3 watching at the moment. That's alright. Here we go. Round review. I'm not gonna spoil too much for Tuesday's round review because I still want people to go ahead and watch that. But we're just gonna do like a quick one, and then I'm not sure what we're gonna do for the rest of halftime. We might just, I don't know. Anyway, though, Thursday night, Richmond Carlton 58-58, drawing the first game of the year. I am really not sure how I feel about that one still. I'm not quite sure because, yeah, it's interesting. It's a weird thing to start the year off with a draw. If anybody's watching, don't you guys agree that it's a little bit weird and interesting to start the year off with a draw? Though, I mean, hey, I'll take it. What a way to start the year, though. Like, absolutely insane stuff to start the year with a draw. Crazy stuff that you wouldn't think. Absolutely crazy stuff to start the year off with a draw. But, yeah, absolutely crazy, absolutely insane to start off with a draw. 58-58. It was a really low-scoring, scrappy game. And Carlton owned most of the game as well. They were in front for most of the game. They played really well for most of the game as well. So yeah, I think Carlton did a really good job for most of the game. I just feel like the Tigers also had their moments and were very lucky as well. Now all of a sudden we've got 7 people watching. I think. No, we've got 4. 4 watching at the moment. But yeah, it was a low-scoring, scrappy contest. And yeah, low-scoring, scrappy contest for most of it. But yeah. It was, yeah, really scrappy, really contested, and it was 16-30 at half time, which just showed the scrappiness as well. Yeah, that had really just shown the scrappiness, which was applied, and both teams were putting on the pressure though and applying lots of pressure. So I do feel like, yeah, but those two sides couldn't be split, which I do see that being fair enough. I felt like Thursday night's game really could have gone either way, and both these two sides have a draw. Sometimes you don't even get seasons which have draws. So to start it off, I feel like there'll be more. I reckon we'll have a couple draws this year. It's hard to predict which games are going to be draws though, because you got no clue. Got absolutely no clue at all. Collingwood Geelong Friday night. The Pies ended the Cats' winning streak, which was just absolutely insane. 103 to 125, I believe the scores were. it was a high scoring game unlike the night before, which was weird. Yes, high scoring game unlike the night before, which was definitely weird and different. But yeah, 103 to 125. The Pies won by 22. They just got over the line in the end. The Cats just couldn't quite finish off the game in the way they would like to. We're just gonna breeze through the rest of this round review. I don't really feel like I want to give too much away for Tuesday. North West Coast, North by 5. North led by 33 at one stage, and probably should have won by more. They probably should have won by more than 5, but the Young Eagles just dragged their way back into the contest and nearly beat the Kangaroos in the end. But North Melbourne's era under Clarkson started off in the best way possible for them. Port Adelaide versus Brisbane. Port Adelaide won by 54. They just sent a message to the competition. I tell you that. They sent a real big message to the competition. I reckon Port Adelaide might be hard to beat this year at the Adelaide Oval. They could just about win every game there if they can do like what they did against Brisbane. And yes, they do play some tougher teams like Collingwood, like Melbourne, like Geelong at the Adelaide Oval. But if you do almost think about it, if they get upset wins in like one of those games, manage to win just about every other game at home, win both the showdowns, they're going to have some really easy sides at home as well, and they can go into state and win. That would make them starters for finals. So this season's really important for Port Adelaide. Ken Hinkley at the moment at least looked like he was doing the right thing in that game. They had the likes of Rosie, Butters, Horn-Francis in the middle, a younger midfield group. And for Brisbane, it was just a disappointment for them. They had high expectations for this game, and their list is really high talented, high skillful, one of the best lists in the comp. And to lose by 54 in round 1, yeah, that'd be disappointing. Melbourne by 50 versus the Western Bulldogs in the 2021 Grand Final rematch. The D's and the Dogs actually had quite a close game for most of it, but in the end though, the Dogs got away. The D's got away to win by 50 points. In that last quarter, the Dogs were in it for half the game, and then after that half, they just left. They just weren't there anymore, and were extremely disappointing in that second half. And that four key forward, the four tools in the forward line, are they going to roll with that for the rest of the year? Not sure. It's going to be interesting to see though. Right, we need to try and wrap this up reasonably quickly. But yes, that's going to be interesting to see whether they're going to roll with 4 in the forward line or not. The Suns and the Swans. The Swans won by 49. The Suns, as I said, I feel like, as I said in my 3-game match reviews, which I posted, feel free to go ahead and check that one out if you want to. I just felt like the Suns relied on luck when going inside 50 too much. I feel like the Suns just were waiting for a bit of luck. They didn't quite know the conditions, which was definitely disappointing at Heritage Bank Stadium. They just didn't know the conditions. It was a warm, humid night. And in the end, the Swans their younger players, for example, the likes of Goulden, McDonald, Heaney, Warner just took them over the line. They've got a great group of young players, and I could not see them falling out this year after that big grand final loss. The Swans, they just played with class in that game. Buddy kicks the first 2 goals of the game. Held quiet for the rest of the night, but at least he looks still in decent shape. Okay, Sunday games. We wrap it up. We get ready for the for the third quarter. It is a massive game here at Marvel Stadium. Giants, Adelaide, GWS by 16. Probably one of the upsets of round 1. The Giants were favourites, and look at that. A lot of people tipped them. A lot of people did tip them. Would have got their tip right. The Crows were the upset, so I did tip the Crows, so we know they are my team. And I'm disappointed by the Crows, what they managed to do. The additions of Rank and Rochelle their forward line, like Fogarty, Walker, McAdam, and then they had Himmelberg in there as well, looked dangerous. It looked like it was going to be a dangerous forward line, and I reckon it will be dangerous at the Adelaide Oval. It just felt like they were a little bit rusty in this game, especially after the great pre-season they had recording wins against West Coast and Fremantle. You would have felt like the Crows would have easily won that game, but they didn't. They managed to butcher that one up. And the Giants, credits to them, their younger players actually didn't look too bad. And managing to score 106, they just got classier throughout that second and third quarter and stuff like that. And yeah, they were pretty lucky. in the end were the Giants. They were lucky because the Crows were inaccurate, 12-18, but they got 15-16 as well. But it was that third quarter which just changed for the Giants. That's where they changed the game. Was that third quarter for sure. That's where they came back, and we've seen a lot of third quarter comebacks, so that's why this third quarter I feel like could be just as big. And then same in this Hawthorn-Essendon game, which is just wrapped up. The Bombers had a big third quarter, 6-0 in that third quarter in that game, and 65-124 the final scores. The Bombers won by 59 pretty comfortably in the end. But yeah, I'm worried about how the Hawks are going to score this year. I do feel like they will record a couple of upset wins. I feel like they're going to have some games where their forward line, because what forward line did they roll with in this game? Let's see. So the forward line they rolled with was Hardwick, Kaczynski, Bruce, Moore, Green and Wingard. If you can get Lewis back, then you could probably put Hardwick back into the defence line. And yeah, I think they'll have a couple of upset wins where players like Moore, Green, Wingard, Kaczynski, Bruce and Lewis will pitch in and get tons of goals. And then, yeah, they might be able to get like 2-3 each. And then they could definitely get an upset win that way, the Hawks. But I just feel like at the moment, against definitely some really good sides, they're going to find it tough to score. They're going to get low scores. And, yeah, but I do feel like they'll get a couple of upset wins. 34 seconds away. We just killed half-time just like that. Absolutely amazing stuff. We managed to do half-time just like that with a half-time show of my own, I guess you could say. Right, we've got the stream back up and running. We'll just double check. We've been live for nearly 90 minutes now. Excellent condition. Absolutely amazing. Right. So we're going to be heading into the third quarter now. This is make and break. We've seen multiple games over the weekend have been reliant on these third quarters where one team has just come out and had a blitz and the other one has just been left to dust. This is a really important game coming up. Really important game, really important quarter. We've got a couple more people joining us back now, considering we're going into the third quarter. And feel free to let me know in the chat. Whose quarter do you reckon this is going to be? Who do you reckon is going to win this quarter? Who do you reckon is going to have a really big quarter? Because I feel like whoever does have a big quarter here could potentially run away with the game. There we go. We've got the quarter 3. We're about to get the stopwatch up and running. The bounce is just moments away now. Siren. Here we go. The third quarter is underway. It is a massive, massive, massive match. Darcy wins the hit out. Brody comes flying through. Crouch though. Gonna send the Saints going their way. Marshall puts it to space. That could be deliberate, I reckon. He's had a very unlucky bounce there, has Marshall. And no, they've called it a boundary throw-in. I can see what they're trying to do there, though, because I do understand that he didn't intentionally kick that out. I think it came off the side of the boot, but yeah, it depends. The umpires can be a little bit 50-50 on that. But anyway, though, 34 apiece. This third quarter is big, because I feel like if both teams have an even quarter, I reckon it could really be anybody's game heading into that last. But yeah, if somebody has a big quarter this quarter, it's going to change the game. Pierce back with a nice, strong mark. Right. Chucks it inside. 50. Frederick there. Couldn't quite do anything at the moment. We've been live for 90 minutes now. And how many have we got watching? We've got 3 at the moment. Right. Here we go. Switkowski. Bang. That's a fast start there for the Dockers. In a minute and a half, they kick a goal. That's what the Dockers needed. That's exactly what the Dockers needed. Switkowski dancing around them all, dancing around the posts and the players. Pops it home. Good start to the quarter there for the Dockers. Right. There we go. Important goal there for the Dockers. If they can have a really good quarter, I feel like they will win this game. If a team has a good quarter and can get out to a 30-point lead, I feel like, especially the scrappiness of this game, it'll lead to the other team having a lower score this quarter and maybe only getting a goal on the board. They'll lead by 24 heading into the last break, or 4 goals, and will set themselves up in a really good position. Looks like at the moment the Dockers are the ones showing that early intent. Drops by Taberner. Liam Henry putting on the pressure. Sinclair with that flying mullet, running it outside 50, having a couple bounces as well. Daring to take the game on. Gresham, they're moving up the corridor, and all alone, all by himself, was Higgins, I think. And now Owens has ran on. That's massive. Owens has run on. It's a just under 50-metre kick, I reckon. And yeah, maybe just under 50. 47, 48 metres. He's already got a goal. Yeah, 50-metre kick. He took it from 55, though. He didn't make the most of the space which he had. He didn't go right the way up. He had a little bit more room to move than that. He went with a bit of a torpedo and has missed a lot. It's going to be a Dockers kick into Ryan, who's already had a ton of the footies we know today. And short little kick from Young goes to Cox, who's had a lot of footy. Let's just say it. Cox has just been phenomenal today in the defence line for the Dockers. He's been one of their mainstays. He was really good last year as well. I felt he had some really good moments in games last year, and in this game already, he's just showing that he is a great defender. And one of those underrated ones, because you think of defender, you might think of Sicily or something like that. But yeah, Cox is definitely shown this game that he is a absolute cracking defender, and he showed that, yeah, the moment he has, he's played a good game today. Ryan, what's he going to do? He's going to go short to Wilson. 34 plays 40 in a low-scoring, scrappy contest. Hello, VA Supercar 9402 says A in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Got 6 watching at the moment as well. This quarter is a really big decisive quarter, as I said, though. Yeah, I feel like a team has a real good chance to get away this quarter, whether that be the Saints or the Dockers. And if somebody does get away, well, yeah, then that could be really big and yeah, definitely change the game. But we're only 2 and a little bit quarters in at the moment. Brody to 50. Darcy was all on his own. It's a 50-metre kick, so I think he'd want to be looking to square this one up. He goes wide instead to Clark, who's about 60, 65 out, so it's definitely too far out to score. So they've gone with a little bit of a switch. Looking at Taberner. Taberner hasn't been that great so far today, and he hasn't been as great in the past few matches either, and that one just rolls out of bounds. And we are currently still at 34-40. Got 6 people watching at the moment, and yeah, hello and welcome if you're watching this for the first time to the stream. Here we go. Jackson handballs that one away. Burns picks it up. Sends that down the line. Cox nearly took another mark. And he's going to be given the free kick anyway, so he's going to get another possession to add, or another disposal. That's a risky kick. Clark knew contact was coming from Hill. He thumped it away. Instead, though, Sinclair gets it. He gives it to the hard-running, working Hill. There's a man all open. He plays on. He goes long. Chapman's the only one back there, and he takes a sitter of a mark. Comfortable mark there. Butler was not anywhere near close to him. Hello, Cube the Boob. Cube the Bube. Sorry. That was my mistake. Cube the Bube. Watching it on your TV. Nice. Hello, Cowboys Life. Hello, thanks for hosting, watching all the way from America, Los Angeles. Alright, well, hello and welcome, Cowboys Life. Cube the Bube, amazed at that. From America. Do you know footy? says Cube the Boob. Says Cube the Boob to Cowboys Life. And that's a goal. I wasn't even paying attention because I was too busy reading chat. That's a goal for Schultz. And the Dockers have just started. Just started to take this game to another level. I feel like they've just taken this. They've just taken some intensity up and just looked better inside 50. I think that one was Schultz. Again, another little Henry involvement there to Schultz, who's been really good. I said it right. Yeah. Right. 34-46, the moment. Feel free to let me know who you think wins in chat. Who do you think wins at the moment? With 34-46, we're 8 minutes into the third, still 15 minutes to go, so this could be a long quarter. Cube the Boob says Dockers. I reckon Dockers will win as well. I feel like their class just outclasses the Saints, and I just feel like what they did last year and what the Saints year could look like this year with their injuries. I mean, if the Saints are playing like this and their defence is actually holding up against a good side, but you do have to keep in mind the Dockers forward line is a little bit under compared to some other clubs' forward lines. So, but I've been impressed with the Saints' defence. I will say that though. I've been really impressed with their defence. Their defence today has just been top notch for the Saints. But yes, I feel like the Dockers do just get the edge. I only think the Dockers will win by 15 though. I think the Saints have actually played really well and I feel like they'll keep it up. They're going back to go forward. Ryan works that one across to Clark. So that one was Chapman. That's off the ball for Howard. That was comfortable. Just gave him a shove. Cube the Boob says Freo forever. Cube the Boob, where do you reckon Fremantle will finish this year? Feel free to chuck that in chat. Where do you reckon they'll finish on the ladder? Me personally, I think they'll finish. I originally had them finishing 4th, but I'm gonna change that to about 5th or 6th. I reckon on the ladder now, 5th or 6th for the Dockers. And the Saints, I said that at the start of the stream that I've been really unsure of where the Saints sit, and I feel like I've really got to see this complete game. But as a already like what I've seen so far, and if I'm gonna make a judgment off what I've seen so far from the Saints, I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna stick 13th actually. I reckon I'll stick 13th. I reckon teams like Adelaide and Gold Coast and Port Adelaide and the Dogs will finish above them, but teams like North Melbourne, Hawthorn, GWS Essendon will finish below them. The Saints have actually played really well though in this game so far. They have played really well so far, the Saints. Right. I think this might be 50 metres coming up and a chance for a goal. For the Saints, I reckon. What's happening here? Alright. It's a 50 metre kick for Owens. That's the first 50 metre penalty that Fremantle have given away. That's out in the full. No, it stays in. And that time, though, Hughes does make sure it goes out for a boundary throw-in. 34-46 at the moment. Right. Around the corner. Behind for Butler, I believe. For the Saints. Yes. A behind. It's 5-5-36. Plays 7-4-46. So it's 35-46 at the moment. And yeah. This is a really important moment here. Next goal is critical. If the Dockers get the next goal, they extend the margin out to, let's see, 17. If the Saints get the next goal, however, then the margin gets pegged back to 5. This next goal is important. And whether it come in 30 seconds time or in 10 minutes time, I still feel like this is really important. Jackson had a chance. Missed. But yeah, this next goal is really important, especially at the phase of the game that we're in. It looks like we're heading for low scores. I just feel like this next goal becomes critical. The Saints needed to just try and keep in touch, because in a low-scoring game like this where you've scored 35 in nearly 2.5 quarters, you just need you feel like 12, you're dragging behind a little bit, I reckon. So that's why I just feel like this next goal is important. 18 points for the Dockers does feel like they are starting to get out to a decent lead. So this next goal is important. And Pearce has taken a nice mark. And it does feel like it's been down the Dockers' end more this quarter. 10 to 15 intercepts at the moment. Pearce sends it in. High long ball. Taberner was underneath it. He came too far forward though, so the ball just drifted over his head. Fife going in there. Webster flicks it out. They're going to get it out here, the Saints. It's a sloppy, messy ball, and it goes out to Cox, who's taken a great mark. Cube the Bube says, go Freo. Well, if Freo kick the next goal, I feel like that's a massive moment in this game. 54 to 90 marks. The Dockers have just controlled this game a lot more. Aerial kick marks sort of thing as well. Meanwhile, the Saints, they've just been more getting it on the bounce, running, transition, handballing rather than kicking. Which will, you know what we'll do? We'll go and grab up. Let's just see real quick on the AFL app. I want to see how many handballs to kicks. What the numbers are looking like. Disposals 234 to 268. Fremantle in front. 34 to 166 kicks. 100 to 102 handballs. All in favour of Fremantle. 30 to 36 inside 50s. The game is opening up now for the Dockers. But yes, that kick stat 134 to 166 means they have been taking more marks from those kicks. That's what I can see out of that. Right, we'll bring the stream back up here. Got 4 people watching at the moment. Here we go. $35 to 47. Ryan kicks back. That's a risky kick. And he's dropped it. Gresham has a bounce. He looks up. He has another bounce. Probably that second one being unnecessary, but he's looked up. He's bought himself enough time. Steele and Butler were both fighting over the same ball. They couldn't decide who was going to take the mark, and then so they both drop it. Young flicks it over to Brody. This is massive. He ran into a brick wall. Not called holding the ball. Chapman tackles Gresham. Still picks it up. He chucks it to the 50. That's going to be called a mark to Owens. That's going to be a mark to Owens. So he's going to have a 60-65 metre kick. So he shouldn't bother taking this, and he should just kick up. Inside 50, which he does. To the top of the square. There's options down there. Jackson was the tallest one down there. Higgins lurking around. And about 5 players all piling on top of each other for the one Sharon. And it is going to be called a ball up about 25 metres out for the Saints. Definitely enough time to just tap it down, have a snap, and the Saints could be back in it just like that. Brody bangs that out. And Fife is all out by himself. He should just take a bounce. Oh, he ran around Hill. Nasai Wanganeen Miller. And that time Wilkie got him. Holding the ball. That is great. We know how quick Nasai Wanganeen Miller is. He goes in for the tackle. He couldn't quite finish at that time because Fife managed to step around Nasai Wanganeen Miller. However, Wilkie comes in from behind and crunches him, and he's not stepping around Wilkie. That's great pressure from the Saints. Inside 50 now. That's going to be called a mark to Filippo. Advantage paid. Yes. Owens bangs it home. That is a massive goal. 6-5-41 to 7-5-47. That is a massive moment in the game. That is a massive moment in the game. Wow. Wow, we know how much that means. That it looked like the Dockers were out with Fife, and then the Saints just managed to transfer it from there to the goals. That is just exceptional stuff there from the Saints. They pay the advantage, which was a great call there for the Saints because there's 2 of them running out the back. And in the end, it is just Owen's goal. And yeah, that is remarkable stuff there from Machito Owens. Right, 41-47. I did say about 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago that next goal is massive, and you really do feel that goal is massive. It's 6 points now, and one more kick, one more goal for the Saints, and they've drawn it back up again, which their defence has held up really well. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. 7 people watching. Hello, everybody. And if you're watching this for the first time, welcome to the stream as well. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, also make sure to subscribe as well. We're getting really close to 550 subscribers as well. Here we go. Higgins. Lost the ball. Chapman. Had time. Gives it over to Young. O'Meara. The handball to Young was not great. Goes out of bounds, which probably, to be completely honest, for Fremantle is probably the best result they could have. So yeah, I'll see if I can try and get chat up next time. But I'm not sure if I will be able to, because I can only have a certain amount of browser things running on different browsers. I can only have one per browser, so I've got Chrome and Edge running at the moment. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do chat, but at least I've got something here to read chat. So any chats that do come through will be read if they do pop up on my other screen, which I'm looking at. So yeah, just yeah. Anyway, that's going to be out in the full. Got 4 people watching at the moment. And this again, oh, that's a poor kick in. It's a grubber. It's going to work though. No, it's not. It's out in the full. So a couple of out in the fulls in a row. Just making a couple of mistakes at wrong times, I'd be saying. We'll check our connection status again, because I haven't checked that in a long time. I think we should be all good though. Excellent condition. Absolutely amazing to see. Absolutely amazing to see there. Absolutely amazing to see. Got 3 people watching at the moment. But yeah. Right. 41-47. Here go the Dockers, Chapman. They've been switching it a lot. They've had a lot more kick mark, but I feel like it's been a lot of uncontested mark. Darcy's uncontested. Wilson on short is uncontested. Darcy doesn't want to go there though. He's going to go back, so they're going to have to switch back the other way now. Cox. There's just uncontested players on these sides, but the Dockers have wanted to switch it a lot. And then you can see there, Clark is uncontested. There's so many just uncontested players all around for the Dockers. Pierce goes short to another uncontested player, so it's another mark and another uncontested mark, and another uncontested possession for the Dockers. Chapman going to go down the line, long down the line to the 50-meter arc. Crouch gives it over to Wood. Sorry for any background noise. That is nice down the line. Higgins, outstretched hands, manages to hang on. May have been touched. I reckon it might have been touched. Young trying to go for the fend off. And then Chapman, he gets out of trouble. Gives over to Chapman again. And now they could be out here. Wilson has a bounce. Looks up. Found Brody. Goes inside 50. And Marshall couldn't quite hang on. He got a fingertip to it. But it goes out of bounds. We've been live for an hour and 50 minutes. And we are nearly at the end of the third quarter. It is currently 41-47 at the moment, and yeah, it's been a really close contest, and I feel like anybody takes this game home. Doors Roblox guy says Jay. Hello, Doors Roblox guy. Hello and welcome to the stream. It's a massive game from here. We have got 6 minutes 20. Looks like Wilkie's going to have to go off due to the blood rule. Blood dripping down his face. Just going to be off due to the blood rule there. And yep, going on to the bench. 41-47. This is going to be a small little break in play. 6 minutes 20. Boundary throw in down at the Dockers end. Fife is around this. Schultz is in the square with the Saints defend. Darcy snaps it out there, heading in the Schultz direction. And out of bounds. Boundary throw in. So, yeah, this is really important, this boundary throw-in, and this next goal is really important as well. Right. Lineups. Alright. I reckon Liam Stocker's had a really nice game as well for his brand new club. I think he's had a really nice game, Liam Stocker. I think he's played really well, Liam Stocker. I think he's had a good game for his brand new club, and it's really important to go and have a good game for your first game if you're with a brand new club as well. So yeah. Alright. Behind for the Dockers. Let's just chuck that onto the 48. 7-6 48 plays 6-5 41. It's been a low scoring, scrappy game as well. Been a really scrappy contest at the moment. Been a really scrappy contest. How many do we have watching at the moment? Got 2 watching. Game not too far away from actually ending as well, if you can believe that. But we've still got a really big moment. We've still got some big moments coming up, and I reckon we'll have 2 more goals coming up this quarter. I reckon 2 more goals coming up. 5.5 minutes to go. That's excluding stoppage time and all that, so it'll probably be about 7 or 8. Here we go. Hill running up the middle of the ground. Short little kick inside 50. Higgins nearly the one-hander. Pierce, though, controls that one nicely. Brayshaw goes off the ground. Still comes back. He kicks it inside 50. Young back with the grab. That's important. Young with a nice grab. Young down the line. Sinclair. Saints going back to go forward. Puts it inside 50. Wilson. Now Brayshaw can take it out of there. Sukowski. Is there a chance here? Fife. It goes past all of them. And Howard had a really easy chase there. He's got all the time in the world. He's just standing still. Nobody's going to go at him though. And he's going to work out a short kick to Sinclair. That's weird that nobody went at Howard. He just had time. He was just standing still like a statue there. So, yeah, they had a little bit of time there. They had some time. And, yeah, they were very lucky that they bought some time there. The Saints. Howard just had all the time in the world there, which when you do get that, allows you to make a better decision. Sometimes though you will make a worse decision, but yeah, you've got a little bit of time, you can assess the options, and I'm surprised that nobody ran at him. I think they thought they were going to kick it and didn't want to end up there, but I mean, I can see what you think, but yeah, if you're just going to stand there and shape a handball, yeah, I'd be running at him for sure. Owen's in the ruck. Here we go. Burns around the body. Cox slaps it out of bounds. 3 minutes 29 to go. It's been a longer quarter. It's 41-48 if you can believe that. A very low scoring game, but a good one as well. A good game. A cracking game. Right. Well, this is really important. These last 3 minutes are going to shape this game. If the Dockers get a goal, I feel like they really go into this last quarter poised well. If the Saints get a goal, it is really anybody's game. Because leads in these shorter, like in these small margin games are interesting. Leads in these games are very interesting, and yeah, it feels like somebody's gone off and somebody's come on. Patner's come on. The activated substitute. So they've made that just before 3/4 time. Must have been an injury, I reckon. I reckon it must be that injury has forced the has forced the substitution. Here we go. Mason Wood has a shot. Bouncing, just hit the post. Just has hit the post there. Well, now it's just a goal the difference. 6-6-42 plays 7-6-48. Jimmy Webster goes off due to an injury. Ben Patton comes on. The Dockers substitute, I believe, has still been unused at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, Bailey Banfield is the Dockers substitute, and he still has not been used just yet. But I feel like they might bring him on at 3/4 time, which we might just go through who might leave the ground at 3/4 time, perhaps, as well, which has 2 minutes and 12 to go. And we might just see who could potentially go off the ground if they do want to bring Bailey Banfield on for a little bit of difference in this last quarter. A fresh pair of legs can be useful in this last quarter. So, yeah, we'll go through that at 3/4 time. It's only about a 5-minute break anyway, so we should be right. And then, yeah, last quarter is coming up pretty soon. Higgins chucks that inside 50 for Gresham. It's a bouncing ball. It's bounced the weirdest way you'll see. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds, and Clark has rolled that out of bounds professionally enough as a bit of bait, because he's not going to be deliberate. Timmy Webster out for the game, as we know, though. Ben Patton on for the Saints right before 3/4 time with a couple of minutes to go. Gresham had a little toe poke at it. Clark undergrounder. Great smother from Steele. It's been these little defensive efforts from the Saints which has kept them in this game, I reckon. I reckon if it hadn't have been for that, I reckon the Dockers could have run away with this. But the Saints defence has been really good so far. It might not have been the prettiest thing, but they've just gotten the job done on multiple occasions to not have the Saints defence, which I think has been really important to keeping this game alive. Good grab there from Cox. And I reckon we're in for a close finish here at Marvel. I reckon we've got a close finish coming up. Cox kicks it wide to Ryan, who's had a really good game, Luke Ryan. V8 Supercar 9402 says Fremantle, yes. I reckon the Dockers win from here as well. But I would not be surprised if the Saints were to win. I feel like I'd be lucky if the Saints were to win, but their defence has held up really well. I feel like it's been a game of the defensiveness. Both the defences for both these sides has held up really, really, really well. Really well. They've been super glued together, these defences. They have just not let anything through. Hence why the low scoring 42-48 in the third quarter of a game. We could be in for a game where both teams score 60, I reckon. 60. Maybe not even that. Maybe not even that. We were 34-34 at halftime, so you can see what's happened there. It's been low scoring. Swikowski's got a big shot. He moves it on to Ryan, who's in a tough spot in the pocket. He will run the clock down for the end of the quarter. We've just hit the 30-minute mark, and we've just about to hit the 2-hour mark as well for being live. But yes, we've just hit the 30-minute mark here for the quarter. 2 seconds, 1 second, there's your siren. Liam Henry, the shot after the siren. This is a really big kick. Looks decent. It's going to go across the face, and it's going to be fisted through for a behind. So that's really big. Oh, hang on, no. It's not been fisted through for behind. It stands at 42-48. Because that's not going to count. 42-48. So it is just a 6-point margin. We'll be able to do the timer now as well. Clear that. There we go. 42-48. Feel free to let me know who you think wins from here. I think it's an even game. And now we're going to go through who could be substituted for the Dockers if they want to bring on a fresh pair of legs. So we've got 4 minutes 40 to go until the third quarter gets underway. I don't think they've made a... Yeah. Brennan Cole's taken a career high 7 intercept marks. Right. Substitutions here. Who could go off for the Dockers? Tracy's been really quiet, 16 fantasy to goal, but he's a tall forward. Nat Fife, they would not be game enough to take him off, would they? If you think about Bailey Banfield, he's playing as a small forward. I feel like nobody goes off for the Dockers. I feel like they've all had decent games, and if it was to be anybody they'd take off would be Tracy, Fife or Hughes. But I don't think they'd take off Fife. I reckon it'd be Hughes or Tracy that goes off if they are to take anybody off. They don't have to. They don't have to. 3/4 time. They don't have to take anybody off. Keep that in mind. Hang on, wait. Let's do that the right way. There we go. 3/4 time. That's better. But yeah, I don't think they'll, unless if they're going to take Tracy or Hughes off, they won't take anybody off. I don't think the Dockers, unless if they are really willing to take Fife off, then that's their choice. But yeah, I don't think they will. Right, got 2 watching at the moment, and I reckon we're in for a great last quarter here as well. I reckon we are in for a cracking last quarter. Yeah, I reckon we're in for a cracking last quarter. Absolutely cracking last quarter. Feel free to let me know in the chat who you think wins, Fremantle or St Kilda. And yeah, we've got 5 watching now. That's just jumped up. But yeah, feel free to let me know in the chat who you think wins, Freo or St Kilda. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really, really good game to finish it off. Yep, I think this is going to be an absolutely cracking contest to finish it off. 42-48 at the moment. 42-48 at the moment, and yeah, I think we've just got a really good game on our hands. A big finish coming up. It might be scrappy, but it's going to be good. I know that for sure. We're about to have the 4th quarter underway. We'll see how long it is going to be until the 4th quarter gets underway. But yes, this is a big 30 minutes of football coming up, though. This is a big 30 minutes of footy coming up. And yeah, this is going to be game changing. So you've got 2 minutes before the quarter starts. I feel like both teams could this could be like a game where both teams score under 50 as well. I highly doubt it, considering where these two sides are at. I reckon high 50s, low 60s is what we're in for here. A good game, defensive last quarter. But if one team does have tired legs, I reckon that opens it up for the other team to capitalise on that and win. The defence has been the main part of this game, and one defence doesn't work, and I reckon scoring could free up here. So if the Saints defence doesn't work, the Dockers could actually still go ahead and win by 3-4 goals. And if the Dockers defence doesn't hold up this last quarter, the Saints could go on and win by 3-4 goals as well. So I really do think it's anybody's game, and yeah. It's anybody's game. Owens and Schultz, the only multiple goal scorers for the entire game, if you can believe that. And the Saints and the Dockers, their forward lines have both been questionable today, but it's just been their defensive which have just held up really well. Really, really, really well. And yeah, we've got about a minute to go before the final quarter gets underway for this one. And looking forward to this last quarter. We've had a closer game than what people have thought. I've seen some people predict this game to be smashing. I tipped the Dockers by 15 with the scores of 83-98. That's obviously not happening anymore. Brendan Cox has taken 20 marks today, and I tell you about a game that's been defensively minded, where you've had to be up defensively. 26 disposals, 139 ranking points for Brendan Cox. But in a game which had to be defensive, I think both these sides have lived up to the occasion. They've both been defensive and both played quite a similar game. And yeah, I feel like it's anybody's game now, based on how the game's gone. Adelaide game last year against Fremantle was close in Adelaide Oval. I did not go, says V8 Supercar 9402. That was a great game. Cracking game. Unfortunately enough, the Crows lost. But it was a great game of footy at the Adelaide Oval last year. Do we see a remake of this, except this time at Marvel? The Dockers look to be playing in 2 absolute round 1 thrillers. And then if that stat actually remains, which I do remember their 2021 game, they got thumped by the D's. So 2 in a row is what they could be going for if they get a close win. The only other game Marvel Stadium played this round was North Melbourne vs West Coast, 87-82, the final scores in that. Higher scoring, but we do know these two, the calibre of teams that North Melbourne West Coast compared to St Kilda and Fremantle is different. So here we go. We are ready to go for the 4th and final quarter here. We'll get quarter 4 going. The bounce is about to happen, and, well, in 30 minutes' time we'll know who has won the game. So here we go. Final quarter's underway. Opening clearance is going to be going Fremantle's way. Yes it is. They clear it out of the middle. Schultz, with his speed, takes off. Hughes, so I don't think there's been a substitution made just yet. Nearly in the forward line. Nearly for Brayshaw. Goes out. Frederick gets it. He can't pick it up cleanly though. Goes diving on the floor. Still picks it up. Sinclair. Did the Saints get the opening inside? Did they get the opening score this quarter? It rolls back. Ryan to Wilson. And goes wider to Pierce, I believe. And now to Clark, who's played a good game as well. Jordan Clark's played a ripper game. Hunter Clark, he's died away in this last quarter. Haven't seen a lot of him so far in quarter 3, nor 4 so far. 8, he's got his first touch of the last quarter. He's going to go long down the line, sticking close to the boundary. The boundary line will be your friend in this scenario. Darcy takes the mark. Kicks inside 50. Schultz flew. The Saints, though, their defence has been really good today. That time just scrambling it out like they have been most of the time. But they've just been managing to do that on multiple occasions. And that defence has still been holding together really well. Same goes for the other end for the Dockers. And Cox has taken another mark. He's going to have another possession. And he's definitely stating why he is definitely going to be probably one of the best on grounds. Excellent connection still. Absolutely beautiful to see. Here we go. Oh, hang on. The ads have... What's happened there? Right. Well, my stopwatch is absolutely messed up. That's a pain. That is an absolute pain. Can I set this stopwatch to anything? Nah, we're just going to have to roll with this, guys. Sorry, guys. I accidentally pressed on the ad. Never mind. Here we go. Right, I'm just going to say stopwatch issue in chat. Right, we are just 2 minutes behind on the stopwatch. We are 2 minutes behind on the stopwatch. Just going to put that in your chat. Just so everybody knows, you guys watching, we're 2 minutes behind. So we're actually meant to be at 3 minutes right now. Pretty much. 3 minutes. Anyway, though, down the line goes Young. Yep, stopwatch issue. Right. Well, now, though, we are ready. We've got great connection going. We've got some really important moments coming up this last quarter, and you definitely do not want to go anywhere. You'll definitely want to hang around here for the next 30 minutes, as, yeah, we're going to be watching the last bit of the game, and we'll just be going through some stats after for 5 minutes as well, or a couple minutes or whatever. But, yeah. And it's a goal for Wood. That is a massive start, and we are drawing on 48-48 at the moment. 7-6-48 St Kilda, 7-6-48 Fremantle. That is as even as you'll get. What a game. What a game. What a game. That is absolutely insane. Mason Wood with the snap. We know he's great in the forward line. He's had some good games, and I reckon this has got to be one of them for Mason Wood. I reckon this is a solid game he's put together. Definitely not up to the standards of like what Cox and Clark and players like that have been able to do. But 16 disposals, a goal and a behind. He's just bobs up at an important moment. And in a game where it's low scoring like this, 48-48, you've just got to take your chance. And he's done exactly that. He's just kicked a big goal, and that is the equaliser. Could we see a draw? Do we see another draw? Imagine that, 2 draws in the same round, plus a host of close games and thrashings. Wow. Well, if it does end up being a draw, we do know what's going to happen. They'll just sit below Richmond and Carlton. Inside 50 for the Saints again. Cox. He's got to do something with it. Pearce. Smother. Chapman. Pearce again. He's going to go over the boundary line, which probably for both sides is a good result. Especially though for the Saints, I'm going to say. That's a good result for the Saints. They're going to want to have another cracker going inside 50 here, and well, they're going to have a chance to do it. They're going to have a chance to do it. So it's just on the 50 here for the Saints. It's a boundary throw-in. Darcy and Marshall are going to go at it. And the whistle's been blown, and it's going Fremantle's way. Oh, how important it is if they get a goal. V8 Supercar 9402 says, oh no. 18 to 20 free kicks. Schultz takes a nice mark. He's got Tracy running. I'm interested why the Dockers haven't made a substitution yet. I'd be thinking if I was a coach, I mean, you might want to wait till 10 minutes to go and bring on a real fresh pair of legs for 10 minutes of the last quarter. But if I was a coach, I would not be making a mistake. I'd definitely be bringing on that tactical substitute for sure. That's what I'd be doing. I'd definitely be doing that because yeah, you'd want to make sure that you get a fresh pair of legs out there for the last few moments. So I think that's quite important. The Saints, they are realising what's needed to be happening, and the Dockers have just kicked it behind. So I'm just going to get that up, which you've heard the saying, the match-winning point. That could very well be their match-winning point. Henry nearly turnover. Sinclair, he's quick. He drops the ball. He continues to run. He's going to put it inside 50. High ball. 2-on-1 here. The Dockers' numbers came back, though. Brayshaw, it's came back to Gresham. The Saints are in front. You would not believe it. But the Saints are in front. My voice is pretty much tired out, so there might not be a lot of expression there. But the Saints are in front. 54-49. Wow, this is probably one of the games of the round. So far, this is probably one of the games of the round. We've had some crackers. Richmond, Carlton, Geelong, Collingwood, North Melbourne, West Coast. Some could say Adelaide Giants. And, yeah, this is an absolute cracker as well. But, yeah, we have had, like, definitely North West Coast. Richmond, Carlton have been crackers. Those have definitely been probably the two absolute thrillers that we've had so far. But, yeah, we've had some really close games. It's either been close games or smashings. Ground ball gets 40 to 25 in the forward half. You can see that the Dockers are more of a kick mark inside 50 team. Meanwhile, the Saints are a bit more luck reliant, but they're still going to get the ball off the ground, which their forwards are suited to that, which we know Higgins, Gresham, when Billings can return, Billings can do that stuff. What's going to happen here? Clark gets it out, shovels it out to O'Meara, gives it to Pearce, who gives it to Hughes. And this is a big touch here for Hughes. Hasn't had a lot of the footy this last quarter. And, yeah. He hasn't had a lot of the footy. And he's kicked it short to Chapman, which you'd say is probably the right call. Here we go. Right. Tabiner goes out. Banfield comes in. Great call there from the Dockers. Great call there. Bringing in a fresh pair of legs. Hill. It's out ahead of him. He's got time to turn. He looks up. He goes for... Who was that? They've got it. Through Wood. No way. No way. The Saints are up by 11. Now, through Mason Wood. Mason Wood has just kicked 2 goals in this last quarter. That was all thanks to Hill. All thanks to Hill there, who got a really important kick going. And then, Yeah, Hill's kick was sent to. Let me see, Kaminti on debut, wearing number 47, who nearly got the goal. Instead, though, being very unselfish, giving it off to Mason Wood, who slams through the goal. But Kaminti's played a good game. Kaminti on debut has been really good. He's been a shining light for the Dockers, I reckon. He has had a really good game. We've still got 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go. So the Saints, this lead might be cut back from the Dockers. But the Dockers have the Dockers have got to do something, though. They've got to get the next goal. How old are you? I'm not going to answer that question. And it's a behind. Yeah. Sorry, VA Supercar 9402, but yeah, I'm not going to answer a question like that. Fremantle score 50. They're on to 57, 850. They've just kicked it behind. Has that been a chance which has just gone begging? Have they just missed out on an opportunity which could have potentially just been a big moment to perhaps win them the game if that had have gone through? Well, we may never know what happened. We may never know, but it's 64 to 50 at the moment. And it's gone to Fife. Fife, we saw what he did against Port Adelaide in that practice game. He hasn't had the same sort of impact what he would have liked to have, but this is his moment. It's a 50-metre kick, so this is definitely Fife range. I reckon he can give it a nice little blast from here. And yeah, this is a big moment in the game, as I say. 49 metres out. This is big. Nat Fife, can he deliver when the Dockers need him? There's still 12 minutes to go, but this just simply has to go through. It's coming back. It's going to miss. It's going to be thumped through for a behind because he didn't even have the trip. So, just a couple of chances. They had 2 chances on goal. They missed them both, the Dockers. And has that just lost them the game? Is my big question. Down the line. Go the Saints. Burns, I'm pretty sure that one is. Smothered by Hughes and over the boundary line. So, 60 to 51. Feel free to let me know. There's 11 minutes to go. Well, just over 11 minutes to go. Feel free to let me know in the chat. Who do you think wins from here? Do you think the Saints hold on? They've got a 9-point lead currently. Do you reckon the Saints hold on and snare an upset win? Or do you reckon with the class the Dockers have, do you reckon the Dockers come back and snatch a cracking win on a Sunday afternoon at Marvel? Feel free to let me know. I still think the Dockers can do it, but I reckon if the Saints put one more on the board, it'll be tough to win from there for the Dockers. So I reckon the next goal is critical. I mean, we always say that in a game like this, but let's be real. The next goal is important. Ryan takes a mark. He's going to go wide. Frederick is going to have to come to the ball. And he's done a good job. He shimmies around, kicks it inside 50. And Henry, nicely done. Luckily enough, the mark wasn't taken. Wilkie releases some pressure, but puts more pressure on Hill, who gave it back. Henry's got the ball now. It goes out to Jackson, who's missed. Dockers come back, says Cowboy is life. I reckon the Dockers can come back. They just had a chance there and have missed. That was a big chance as well there. Jackson just kicking that one across the face. There. Alright. 9-6-60 St Kilda plays 7-10-52 Fremantle. Fremantle have been a side known for inaccuracy, and again that is happening today. They will end up probably kicking more behinds than goals. 10 minutes to go, they sit 7-10. I doubt they'll finish 11-10 here, the Dockers. I think they will finish with more behinds than goals. Oh no, it's an unkind bounce. Frederick in the defence line goes back to help out. Jager O'Meara has been in the defence line as well. What a recruit he was for the Dockers from the Hawks. What a recruit he was. And yes, definitely don't go anywhere. Definitely do not go anywhere. You want to hang around until the end for this one. You want to hang around for the end of this one. 60 to 52. Still got 10 minutes to go, which will probably be about 15 minutes of actual time, so it'll be about 15 minutes till the game is over, and this is a big 15 minutes. I tell you that right now. This is a big 15 minutes coming up. What's going on here? Is it going to be called holding the ball? I don't think it is. It is! To Cordy, who has not made an impact at all. So Cordy's going to be a little bit shabby, I reckon. I reckon he's going to be a little bit rusty, and this is a big moment here for Cordy. Does Cordy kick this goal? From the Western Bulldogs as a free agent. That's coming back. That's massive. That is massive. Could that just about be the win for the Saints? 66-52. Could they just about win now? Maybe. And we're going to have to put the font down at this as well. Right. There we go. Wow. Maybe a little bit soft, that holding the ball call. Maybe a little bit soft. That's a lot of time, says Cowboys Life. Oh, most certainly. Come on, Freo, says V8 Supercar 9402. Cowboys Life. Wow, says wow. Wow. That's my reaction as well. Wow. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that has just happened. The Saints could go in for one of the most unlikeliest wins. The Dockers holding something up on their bench. Looks like a ship. A purple ship. That must mean go time. Hunter Clark out in the middle. Kicks it just before 50. Owens goes in. Young. Now to Sarong. They need the next goal. Because if the Saints get it, it could be just about game over. Brayshaw. To O'Meara. Kicks inside 50. Just fell short of Schultz. Sukowski goes back in and gets it again. Henry's wrapped up. The umpire's blown the whistle. It's going Fremantle's way. Got 7 watching for the most climatic points of this game. Definitely hang around for the next, 13, 14 minutes, because it is going to be an absolute cracking contest to finish off round 1. Who would have thought the Saints were going to contend with no King, no Billings? Well, I'm pretty sure Billings isn't playing. No Membry. Some of their star players are not even playing, and they have still managed to take it up. To the Dockers, their defence has really been unscathed, however, the Saints, and that's what this game has been, more defensive than anything. But the Dockers could be showing a little bit of wear and tear in their defence line, or the Saints have got some fresh running legs in that forward line to spark this decent lead now. Young takes a nice mark. He has to send the Dockers back inside 50. 8 people watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and if you like to stream, then make sure to leave a like on the stream as well. Not too much longer to go. 8 minutes on the clock. It'll be about 12-13 minutes real time. And O'Meara flicks it out to Sarong, but he wasn't there. Lost the ball. Sinclair high up and under ball. I reckon that's gone 15. Wilson dropped the sitter, and it's going St Kilda's way. That free kick. Wow. Burns. Missed Nasai Wanganeen Miller. Schultz has to do something with this. Tracy went over his head. He taps it on. Straight to Howard. And now to Wanganeen Miller. That's an important mark there. Now, what do you do here if you're the Saints? Well, I reckon you just want to start taking some time off the clock here. Little moments where you can just get time off the clock. Example, if you can get it down to your forward line, just take a shot. Take 30 off the clock. If you're 60 metres out, tell the umpire, I'm going for goal. That's a really easy way to take time off the clock. Ryan, 34 disposals. Crouch, 30 are the above 30 disposal winners. Cox has played a cracking game as well. Right. Well, everybody that's watching, leave your tip in the comment section down below. You reckon the Saints hold on here? I reckon they just might. Or do you reckon the Dockers pull off a unbelievable comeback here in a low-scoring game, and that they can put on 3 goals in 7 minutes? V8 Supercar 9402 says, God, oh my God. This is going to be a crazy finish. Crazy finish coming up, especially if the Dockers get the next one. then we are in for an absolute treat of a finish. Here we go. Still. That's what you got to do. You got to milk the clock now. That's what you got to do. You got to milk the clock. Goes down the line. Cordy nearly got up. It's going to the 50. Gresham. He's going to send a high ball in. If this is the mark, they can milk 30 off. It's not going to be. Pearce is going to take it out. He's going to handball it to Henry, who's been pretty decent today. Young. Long high ball. Howard and Steele and Jackson all fighting over the same ball. Nobody got it though in the end. Now it goes out for Frederick with speed. He's quick. He has a bounce. Does he have a second? He looks up from 50. He goes for home. And Battle takes a great grab. Great grab there from Battle. Really important. Burns. Higgins. Just taking time off the clock. That's exactly what you got to do now if you're the Saints. And if you can get 30 off the clock by going inside 50, you got to do that as well. 5 minutes 19. The Dockers are down by 14. 3 goals to win it. I think draw would probably be out of the equation now. I think now we're either talking St Kilda or Fremantle win. What an afternoon it's been though on the channel. First live stream, and it's been an absolute amazing live stream. We'll have a little connection update for the last time as well now, but I'm pretty sure everything is still going perfectly fine, which we'll have a little look now. Yeah, of course. Excellent connection. The stuff you love to see. The stuff that you love to see. Alright. Here we go. The Dockers are switching. They've got to switch this one well. Watch out. They're going to go up the middle. They just have to go up the middle now. They just have to go up the middle. They really do. They're happy to slow things down though. Nat Fife looking for a decent option. They need one here and they need one out of the centre clearance, which could make it, if they can do that, that would make it like that they'd need roughly, yeah. If they get a goal here, they'd need 2 goals in about 4 minutes if they can get one here. Fife still a little too far out to score. He'll want to be making his mind up quickly. He's just going to dump it to the top of the square. Not a great area to put it, but it might work for Frederick, who does his all to keep it in. It stays in. Frederick to Henry. Two dynamic players. Into Brody, who's got some time. He snaps. And he misses across the face. It stays in by Schultz. And Gresham rolls it out there. And he has just bought his team some time. Over the boundary line it goes. It trickles over. And it's deliberate. That could be a big call. That is a massive call in the face of this game. Deliberate. Goes inside 50 out of bounds. Deliberate or not deliberate? Let me know in the live chat. Deliberate or not deliberate? Wow. It did spin out, but, I don't know. That is very unlucky. 47 minutes since the Dockers' last goal. Wow. It actually has felt like a long time as well. It has felt like a long time. When you think about it, Pearce put Owens to ground. And it's a free kick to Owens. That's big. He can take time off here. 23 to 22 free kicks. He can take some time off here. He can go in long. Does anybody represent for the Saints? Nearly. Sarong is going to be able to get it out. They've just got to go up the middle. Oh, it's a turnover. It's Nasiah Wanganeen Miller who takes the mark. He can take 30 off here. And if he... look, the worst result here is that he gets it behind, I reckon. The worst result here is that he gets it behind. That makes the Dockers immediately can go up the middle. He needs to get a goal here, and that'll seal the game. 2 minutes 55 on the clock. If it's a behind, the Dockers are still in it. If it's out in the full, the Dockers are still in it. If it is a goal, the Saints have won, and Sunday afternoon footy will be wrapped up with the Saints win. Nasiah Wanganeen Miller with the game on his boot. He kicks it long. He's missed, and the door is still ajar for Fremantle. They need one here. They still need 3 goals to win the game, though. It's going to be a tough task. Nathan Wilson's got to go up the middle. There's lots of players, lots of white jumpers up the middle. Also lots of black. That's exactly what he does. They need one here to the Dockers. Lots of black jumpers there. Darcy got it away. Still goes off the ground. I mean, you may as well. 2 players got the ball. Chapman got the footy though. And now the Dockers are okay. And they're going to be able to go out. And Michael Frederick, takes the mark. Ethan Hughes looks inside 50. Fife just dropped. And the Saints can get out. They're handballing around now. Sinclair, short little kick. Works to Owens. And he's got to take 6 seconds off the clock here. 5, 6, 7 seconds. Make the player run at you. You've got wider options. He's going to go down the line instead. Long down the line. Cox had got through. He was almost the goalkeeper of the pack, if you get what I mean. He was behind the pack, ready for it to fall behind. Mason Wood to Hill. 1:30. The Dockers are running out of time. Gresham, it gets out the back. Does it sit? He kicks. He doesn't kick anything. And it goes out of bounds. But I reckon that's your game. 7 people watching. If you've enjoyed this stream, leave a like on the stream. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We are getting so close to 550 subscribers. Ross Good Coach says V8 Supercar 9402. Yeah, this is big for Ross the Boss. Against his former side, a big win against the Dockers. That's big. 1:26, I think it's impossible. It's at the Saints' end. If it was at the Dockers' end, they could still be a minor chance, but not anymore. It's going to be another stoppage, and that's just wasted 8 seconds off the clock, and 8 precious seconds off the clock. And, yeah, I'd be thinking you'd have to think game over now. It has been a great game, though. It's been a remarkable game. It's been a defensive-minded game. Ryan thumps it out. Long down the line. Jackson nearly Jackson. It goes out for Battle. He lost his footing and slipped over. Sinclair goes in hunting. It's a ball up, I think. Yeah, and we've got under a minute to go. That'll wrap up your game, though. What a game. What a game it has been. It has been a remarkable game. 7 people watching right now. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Here we go. Do the Dockers get one late? Banfield flicks it inside 50. He was the activated sub. Taberner goes off. And there's been a free kick called going the Saints' way. So now for the Saints, it's about percentage, which we'll have a little look at the live ladder once the game is done. We'll have a little look at some stats. But yeah, again, if you wanna fuller, in-depth, more preview more review of this game, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll have my 3-game match reviews, including this game, going out tomorrow. Thank you, sir. Great job, says Cowboy is life. Thank you for watching the stream. It's been absolutely amazing having you here in the stream. It's been amazing for everybody who's rocked up. And there it is! The siren! And the Saints pull off the upset. One of the greatest upsets. Especially when it comes to Ross the Boss. That is big. That is absolutely massive. It is a big win there, especially with the stakes. And thank you to everybody that has been here at the game. But if you, I might hang around for 5 more minutes, I reckon. We might just go 5 more minutes. But the Saints have won 10-7-67 to 7-10-52. Unbelievable game. So Saints by 15, which unfortunately enough I got the margin right, but just the wrong team. But yes, definitely a big thank you to everybody that has watched this game. It has been absolutely amazing. Thank you to everybody that has rocked up for this first stream, and yeah, it's been absolutely amazing, because as we do know, this is my first stream on the channel, and we've been going really well. Now, I can't guarantee how often I'm going to be doing a stream or something like this, but this first stream is a success, which is the main thing. Now, post-game, what do I think? What an upset by the Saints, personally. What an upset by the Saints. It is an amazing upset, Absolutely amazing upset, amazing scenes, and in the games which is like stakes of Ross the Boss up against the team. Like he used to coach with the Saints before he moved to the Dockers, moves back to the Saints, and starts off their 150th year with a win, which is really important for the Saints. Good job, says V8 Supercar 9402. Thank you for hanging around the stream as well. It's been absolutely amazing. So coming up, which was what I'm going to do before I wrap up, live ladder, and we're going to have a little look at some stats of the game. Before I wrap up, that should be 3 minutes, so I'm not going to waste too much more time. Not going to be too long before I head off, but amazing stream, and I really do appreciate everybody that stuck around. But yeah, we're going to do a little quick post-game here. Little quick post-game wrap-up. So, let's see, I've been live for 2 hours and 36 minutes, so we do have a little bit of time to burn still. A little bit of time. So that puts the Saints in 5th at the moment with 4 points and 128.8%, and that puts the Dockers in 14th spot. We have seen just a round of upsets in round 1. We'll go back, have a little look at all the upsets which have happened. We didn't expect a draw. The Pies beating the Cats, in my opinion, was an upset. Port Adelaide getting over the Lions is an upset. The Giants getting over the Crows, in my opinion, is an upset. And then obviously the Saints getting over the Dockers, in my opinion, is also an upset. These are just my opinion upsets. Round 2, let's have a little look. Who are these sides playing in round 2? The Dockers have got North Melbourne at home. The Saints have got the Dogs at Marvel. And those are both Saturday night games as well. So I'm interested to see the Dogs and the Saints. I reckon that could be a really good game next Saturday night. Dockers North, probably not so much in Perth. The Dockers should be able to win comfortably. But who knows? Who knows? Right. Post-game real quick here at the moment. We're just going to do a very quick post-game. That was a cracking game. Biggest leads for both teams as well. Let's see what that one was. Biggest lead for the Saints, 15 points at the end of the game. Biggest lead for the Dockers, 12 points. The Dockers did lead for most of the game, but it was very, very even. 48 minutes 10 for the Saints, 52 minutes 31 for the Dockers. Last goal was in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter there for the Dockers. So they go goalless in that last quarter as well. Everybody cheering on Ross the Boss as he enters the ground. Yep, 4 behinds that quarter for the Dockers. They didn't convert. They didn't make the most of their chances, which is definitely disappointing for them. They definitely did not make the most of their chances there at all. Right. Post-game. Best on ground. I reckon it's got to go to Brendan Cox. If you feel like there's somebody best on ground, feel free to let me know on the live chat. I'm not currently at the live chat at the moment, but feel free to let me know anyway. And I'll be getting back to this live chat very shortly. I'm just having a little look now. But yeah, we'll start our post-game, which won't take too long at all. Brendan Cox, 133 fantasy, 26 disposals, 20 of those being kicks, 20 marks. Absolutely amazing stuff. And a disposal efficiency of 92%. Luke Ryan, 117 AFL fantasy, 28 disposals, 23 of those being kicks, 11 marks, 2 tackles, with a disposal efficiency being 93%, which is absolutely amazing. Clark and Young also had high disposal efficiency percentages as well. Team stats. Disposals, not much. 53 to 65 inside 50s. The Saints were efficient when going inside 50 more than the Dockers were. Right, let's see. 19 to 46 hit outs, however, again, clearances in favour of the Saints. That was just a cracking game which we witnessed. Uncontested possessions, there was more for the Dockers. They did have more uncontested footy. They had more marks as well, had more contested marks. They were playing more of a marking style game. The Saints had more bounces though. I reckon the Saints did probably take on the game a little bit more. I feel like both teams did go up the middle, but I feel like the Saints did just take a little bit more risks. Shannon says, I think when West Coast winning against GWS next week, I reckon they do as well. I feel like the Eagles did show some great signs against North Melbourne as well. But yeah, round preview for that. Wednesday, round preview. And yeah, I feel like West Coast versus Giants could be a good game. I think I originally am thinking West Coast by 18, but I think it'll be less than that. I reckon it'll be a closer game. But at Optus, though, the Eagles are generally good at Optus. So yeah, I'll have to think about that. Anyway, that's going to wrap up today's stream. I really appreciate everybody coming. We've still got 5 viewers in the chat. And yeah, if you're new, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as I always appreciate that. But, wow. What a game we have just witnessed at Marvel Stadium to end off the round. It's been a cracking round of footy. It really has been. And I appreciate everybody that's hopped on over the course of tonight or this afternoon. So just give me one moment to... We've been live for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So yeah, just give me a moment to do one more thing, and then I'll be able to go ahead and wrap up. So, right, there we go. Right. Alright. That's going to wrap me up. It's been a great round of footy. It really has been. And I'm gonna do my outro now. Everybody that came over, whether you watched for a minute or whether you watched for an hour tonight or 2 hours or whatever, I really appreciate everybody that has swung by tonight. It's been amazing. This is my first stream. I'm not sure how often I'm gonna do streams and stuff like that. I can't guarantee how often I'm gonna do a stream, but we'll just have to wait and see how we go. Anyway, the first stream was a success, and I appreciate everybody for hopping on. That's going to wrap up the stream, though. St Kilda 10-7-67 beat the Dockers 7-10-52 to start off Ross the Boss's new coaching era at St Kilda and to kick off their 150th year in some style. But that is going to be it from me now. I will see you guys in tomorrow's 3-game match reviews, which will include this game in that 3-game match reviews. But anyway, though, that's going to be it. So, again, normal, typical YouTube outro. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And, yeah, thank you guys for hopping on tonight. And, yes, see you guys. See ya. Bye. Bye. Bye.